arrived.
We here, baby. What's up, man? HotepCon 2022. Second annual. It's up.
Who's going to court, bro? Hotep. Where's she at? Did you tell her to come to passenger pickup?
It's lit. Your mom?
Kim, it's Hotep Jesus. We'll be back.
Yeah, we were just talking about that today. Got the balloons.
No, he really flew Spirit Airlines. Who flies Spirit Airlines? On purpose. Who does that? You never catch me.
I've seen it now.
Yo, I ain't never flying right there again. Jump seats. Did I tell you about that? Every seat was a jump seat. That hurt.
Frontiers like that. It's just a glorified spirit.
Didn't I just tell y'all they be having them jump seats, yo? That's what they call jump seats.
The entire plane jump seat.
Yes.
Nothing but exclusive play.
You got nothing but
You? Everybody from Montreal. We used to play that. That was a classic. Man.
That was a classic?
Yeah. Pennsylvania. That was a classic.
Was it?
That shit came out.
NIE.
Yeah.
No, because it was the one, something that was
Yeah,
one that one.
Super Thug.
Yeah, Super Thug.
Yeah, the one with
It
Big
had
Pun
the
on
one,
it.
yeah, the one with Pun on it. That was a classic.
That was
the
a
hardest
good
song in
album.
the
That
album.
was a good album.
Orange, yeah, orange.
Orange was the orange drink.
Orange drink.
I'm hearing some orange drink. I can't hear you that.
We doing bad out here, people.
The hot, yeah.
We doing
Hot
bad out
spicy or
here.
the hot?
No, the spicy.
They gonna go on the internet and go say these niggas is some fake hotels. They not following the Dr. Sebi diet. This nigga just ordered a chicken sandwich. Canada just ordered a Big Mac.
Meanwhile, this nigga just ordered sawdust with salt on it.
Hey yo, Brody, turn mine into another one.
And then
No pickles on my Big Mac.
Pause.
you seen the show Hotep's Been Told You? All right, look it up right now on your phone while I'm waiting for my food. Hotep Jesus right there. So tell all the crew. So you just waited on.
Jeez, Lord.
You guys can use these for Hotep Been Told You, or we could do this high tops like we did.
Oh baby, it's so lit. It's so lit. We got our wonderful Lady Hoteps here. Trish. This is such a wonderful guy. Exactly. Shit looking professional. This is Cisco is sponsor.
Nice.
Yeah. People at the Advantage open. So I'm gonna. Welcome.
Got two more walls here with me. I'm in heaven right now. Move that table over to the left a little bit.
Okay.
This is
You see him finesse a little white girl out of a fresh cup of coffee and Starbucks. Hotep Con. And y'all know him, y'all love him. The Paul Purveyor himself. Uncle Hotep, get your ass out here.
Thank you, Ken. Everybody, clap for Ken Hotep.
We go in for real and ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip. 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 Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real and ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip. 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 Save the day if you not.
What I heard, and what is probably true, it was invented in Tijuana, Mexico, in a restaurant called Caesar. So I always pay homage to the people that invent something in somewhere, and I like to bring some limes in because that's more Mexican than lemons. But so we're gonna mix them both to make the perfect Caesar dressing. Classic ingredient: Worcestershire sauce. My own touch to the classic Caesar, a little Tabasco.
I'd like to say that it is an absolute blessing to be in the presence of people and have you guys with me tonight. And only a female God can make something like that happen. Let's bless the hands that prepared this food, and let's bless the mouths that will enjoy this food. In Mother God's name, amen. Amen, woman. Amen, woman, right?
Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. replaced by AI. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hotep Jesus dude.
Hotep Jesus? I love that guy. He's terrific.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Welcome to the Griff Report. We're back. Every day, 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. Clips going up on Saturday and Sunday. People said I got to post clips on the weekend to keep the algorithm jiggy. Keep the algorithm jiggy. Hit the like button and jig the algo. Hit the like button. Hit the like button to jig the algo. Hit the share button to get more folk in here so they can get some of this Hotep.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh my God, do we have a show for you today? The Griff bag was so full today, I had to remove some things. Just to let you know, I removed some interview with Piers Morgan and that kid who was doing like some weird terrorist pranks or some shit like that. I removed that. We don't have time for that. There's more pressing matters to talk about in the Griff Report today. But first, I got to ask you, you ain't got no Syscoin in your wallet? Still ain't got no Syscoin in your wallet? Need y'all to get hip. I need y'all to get hip. Need y'all to be involved in one of the greatest cryptocurrency communities in the universe. Shout out to Syscoin. Shout out to Jag, Patrick, Nathan, Alex, TradFi guy. Love those guys. Love those guys. Man, do we got a Griff Report for you today. Let's hop right into it. Let's not even waste no time because we got to get to phone calls today. 202-596-5631. We got phone calls to get to. Shout out to my members in the chat. K, DJ Chaz, NYC, Champ, DMW, Shot 24/7. Jimmy Das got the wrench in the chat. Shout out to my wrenchers. New overlay. Make sure you cop your Master Focus. I took my Master Focus today. Feeling good, feeling great, feeling motivated. TryMasterFocus.com. Hey, hit the link in the description box below, man. It's like $40 a month for a life-changing pill. Make sure you take it daily. Some of y'all be forgetting, be telling me, oh, Hotep, I forgot to take it. Stop forgetting. When you eat, you got to take your Master Focus, man. Turn your life around. Get your mind right. Get them herbs in your life. Get them shrooms in your life. The good shrooms, not the, the ones that make you feel woozy. Oh man, let's get into the Griff Report. Why is my screens not cooperating? What the hell is going on? Hold on. Let me try to figure out what's going on here. Of course, I have technical difficulties. Feeling all good and shit. Does that one show? Okay, that one shows. Okay, here we go. All right, you're not supposed to see that. Anyway, let me pull up our first Griff. Some of you might not be interested in this, but we gotta play this. I don't give a damn, god damn it. I don't give a damn. We gotta talk about it. We got a lot of relationship advice to cover today. But first, before we get to that, it's for my gamers right now. This moment right now is for my gamers. We're gonna do a little politics. Look at this. Trailer from Spiderman 2 on PS5.
You have no idea.
A little bit of gameplay.
This whole lizard hunt ends now. Leave Connors alone.
Woo. Oh. Robot dogs and shit. That you seen the New York dog? You see Mayor Eric Adams' dog right there?
Crazy wants to hunt. I'll give him one he'll never forget.
Woo. Woo. Listen. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this game. Oh my Lord. Spider-Man 2 coming soon. I just had to play that, man. Listen, man, I play video games sometimes, man. Leave me the hell alone, man. Leave me alone, man. Calm down, Matt Walsh. I like a little video games in my life. Like a little bit of video games in my life, man. Just a little bit. It's a grifty Thursday. It's Hotep Thursday. We're going to be live tonight with Uncle Hotep, 8 p.m. Make sure y'all tune back in. Damn, so much relationship advice in this broadcast today. We got a lot of DeSantis stuff. Tina Turner passed yesterday. We're going to go into that. We're going to go into Tina Turner. We're going to go into, a trip down memory lane into black feminist Twitter. I was talking about this yesterday, but the receipts have been receipting. And, but first, let's go to Tina Turner. Look at this. So, this account right here says she hated black people with a passion, even turned down a role in The Color Purple after finding out it was a black movie. She said, I wouldn't do black culture if I was dying. Called Africans lazy and uninspiring. Performed during apartheid. I said to myself, this can't be true. And the brother had the receipts. So we're going to pull this up. We're going to talk about it. I don't give a goddamn. I don't give a god. I love Tina. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna love Tina. Tina to me sounds like Uncle Hotep. She said here, if I'm going to kiss a woman, please let it be Tina, Whoopi said. Turner was also the first choice of the writer, the producer, and the casting director, assuming she was on board. Quincy Jones scheduled her meeting with the director, but as he later said, she flipped on him. I wouldn't do a black picture if I was dying. Damn, Tina. It took me 20 years to get out of that black shit, and I ain't going back. Yo, I am about to get canceled because I agree, goddammit.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Listen, I left Black Twitter a long time ago, and I ain't looking back. Hold up, let's see what else she had to say.
But I get that Africans are sort of very lazy people. They're not very aggressive. They just sort of want to live off the land and they're very comfortable, which is great. if you can do that, you know, if you're in a position to be able to do that. But I felt that they enjoyed our performance there, but I have to be inspired by something when I go to Europe. I enjoy it because the people there are very fashionable, and it's just fun. I mean, all we do is work. We check in a hotel, and we go on stage, and we go to the airport. So you have to feel some kind of inspiration from a city, right? So when I go like to Africa, I'm very down because like the food isn't good. I don't get any really good, fantastic vibes from the people, so I'm just really bored.
Oh my God. Now, I don't agree with that part. I went to Africa. I love African people. I had a great time. I had great food in Africa. Great, amazing food in Africa. So I don't know what she's talking about Africa. Obviously, it's many years ago. I don't know what, Africa was like when she went. But when I went, I had a fabulous time. I love African people. I love Africa. Hold up. We got another clip here. Is this Judge Joe Brown? Let's play the clip from Judge Joe Brown. See what he has to say. He always keeps it funky.
Easy heifer. Oh, and I don't even talk about what she used to do when she was a pimp in Memphis. And when I got
oh my God,
here back in the early 70s, and I started getting clients who were scared of that person because she was a gorilla pimp. Yeah, let's talk about that. That's how I can talk about a real man who's easy heifer.
Oh my God. Tina was out here pimping. Guess there's more to that story, man. R.I.P. Tina. Listen, I ain't gonna get all into that. We going back in the grift bag. I ain't getting all into that. Like I said, we got a lot to cover today. R.I.P. Tina. What's love got to do with it? What good is a heart if a heart can be broken and all of that? Let's go back in the grift bag. What we gonna cover next? Yeah. Shaun King, we're going to talk about Shaun King. Project Rook sent me something for Shaun King. We're going to pull that up. Should we pull that up? Let's pull that up right now. Actually, no, we're not going to pull that up. Let's go to this clip from Ice Cube, because we were talking about this the other day. Somebody asked me, about Ice Cube and his Big Three organization and the troubles they're having. So I want to play this clip right here.
Big Three. It's just a cool new way to enjoy basketball. We dealing with hate from the NBA. We dealing with Qatari spies and shit.
Qatari spies?
Yeah, man. We had some Qatari dudes invest, try to steal our players. So we in the court battle with these clowns.
It's war out there, huh?
We've been squabbling on all fronts. You just don't know. Big Three.
So the investors came in from Qatar. Shout out to the Qataris. I don't want no beef with y'all. I know how y'all get down. Invested, then tried to steal his players and his ideas, et cetera, I guess. It goes back to what, Dr. John Henrik Clarke told us. We have no friends. We have no allies. Speaking of the black community, people talk about, the white man is the devil and the white man this and the white man that. And John Henrik Clarke taught the Hoteps that the white man ain't the only one you got to worry about. And that's what Ice Cube is talking about here. Them Qatari spies. So it's a lot of, and obviously the NBA, he's somewhat direct competition, quasi-direct competition. And he's going through it. So there's a lot he's facing and that's what I was talking about the other day, how can you get black people to invest in this idea? And it's like, do you want to deal with the NBA and that organization? Do you want to deal with Qatar and Qatari spies? There's a lot of different moving parts to this type of business. And, if I was an investor, I'd say I'm out. If I had some money and, was just like, hey, I just want to throw some money away, I'd throw him a couple of mil, it probably would go into the marketing budget and last about a week, but I'd throw $1 million down just for the sake of, let's have something black owned, I guess. But I wouldn't expect a serious ROI from it. It's more of a passion project. Anyway, let's go back in the grift bag. We got a lot to cover today. We're here daily, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Get you over that hump at work. Shout out to my East Coast people, West Coast people. I know you probably having lunch right now. Listen to me in your headphones on the way to get some food. let's take a trip down memory lane. Remember yesterday? Yesterday we were talking about what was yesterday? Oh, BLM. Yeah, so we talked about BLM, and I was trying to tell you people how, once upon a time on Twitter, black men were the target. We are the enemy of liberalism, leftism, black feminism. And somebody pulled the receipts. And here we have Jamil Hill. She says, is it just me, or is there really different political energy between black men and women? And she's right. There is definitely different energy. We see these things quite differently. For example, I was on Piers Morgan a couple of weeks back, and there were some black ladies on there, and they were upset because there were some ships on Manchester United's logo, and they said those were slave ships. And I'm just like, what? Like, every time you see a boat, you think of slaves. It's just really weird. So as they're talking, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, there's some female energy, because, only women would be complaining about all these symbolic things. Like, this is pure female energy. And I said it and they got upset, but it's true. Like, men, we're worried about, more important things, or women that are in touch with their divine femininity wouldn't be involved in such foolishness as, what's on the logo of some team. Worried about getting this guala, getting this guac, getting this paper, this good American dream. That's what we worried about. We trying to move to Africa and build a hut.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Next tweet here. Abolish black men at this point. Oh, my God. This is what we had to deal with. This is how Hotep was born. The 5 police officers who murdered Tyree Nichols are also representative of an unspoken tradition among cis hetero black men. Remember we talking about that term, cis hetero black men? Remember we spoke about that yesterday? The idea that black power simply means the power to behave like powerful white men. Read that again and let it factor into your analysis. So this is another thing they say. They say that, black men don't exactly want, and the terms they use is freedom. What's the other word that they use? Chad, help me out here. What's the word these black people, these black libs use that's equivalent to freedom? Liberation. They're the liberation of the black community, right? So they use this word liberation. And what they say is that black men don't really want the liberation of the black community. What they want is they just want the same power white men have. And you know what? She's absolutely correct. Give me power, baby. Fuck that liberation shit. Nobody want no goddamn liberation. Nobody want no damn freedom. I want power. I want the white man's power. You're damn right. You're damn right. Because that's the only thing that exists on this planet. Power and the powerless. The powerful and the powerless. That's it. That's it. Some fucking guilty is charged. Now, she says, behave like powerful white men. I don't know what white men she's referring to. I'm assuming she's talking about, the Bill Gates, Soros, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos of the world. And I wouldn't say I want to act like them or behave like them, identically. No, I have my own vision of what power looks like. To me, power looks like helping people. Okay. I do have a wonderful vision for my future that involves lots of philanthropy. I have these different hubs I'm going to create around the globe, mostly America. And they're basically media detox hubs. And I've been designing them in my head. I know what they look like. My daughter's in school for architecture, so she's going to design these buildings for us. And I have lots of great ideas and activities for people to detox them from the media so they can start using their brain right. And part of that is going to be a subscription to Master Focus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Make sure you hit that link in the description box below. It's like 50% off after you hit the link. Get that membership. Become a client. And we're going to be doing a Zoom call, too, on how to be a productive individual. That's coming soon for all of our clients of Master Focus. So look out for that. So, this is what they said. They said, black men want the power of white men, and they're absolutely fucking right. Let's continue. She said, yes, black men are socialized to believe they matter to the community more than the rest of us. Now, that's not true. That's not true. We don't look at it as if we're more important than the rest of the community, Jamila Lemieux. That's not quite true. I remember at one point they referred to black men as bullet bags. If you type in bullet bags, that's what they used to call us. They used to make fun of the fact that the media used to have all these reports of black men getting shot by police, so they called us bullet bags, basically trying to minimize the importance of our lives. And I'm just glad this person brought up the receipts. This is exactly what I was looking for yesterday. Didn't take the time to find it, but now it's here. But this is what we've had to deal with. It's white men's turn now. Your community's turning on you. Your leftist is turning on you. But this is why we gotta stick together, white man. This is why we gotta stick together. Because the socialists know they got to get rid of us to get to our women, to get to our children. They got to go through men. They have to go through masculinity. Sad, sad, sad. Since we're on the topic of grifts, we got to talk about this grifter, number one grifter. And let's set it up with a clip I played yesterday. Let's set it up with this clip. Welcome to the Grift Report. Here we go. Throwback, 2015.
First, it was funny money with the Haitian donations. Then it was funny money with the Trayvon Martin donations. His family already had a fund set up, but Shaun King created his own. I wonder why. Then it was funny money with the Tamir Rice donations. Moms never saw that money. You could Google that story. Then it was funny money with Bree Newsom when she climbed the pole and he promised to give her that money, and she never saw that. He's funny money. Get this Rachel Dolezal in the face ass nigga the fuck out of here, yo.
All right, so that's a young Hotep Jesus. Come a long way since that. But speaking of the grifty nominee, Shaun King, look at this. Look at this. Take a look at this. Diagnosed with a nerve condition. Gee, I wonder where that nerve condition could have came from. Hey, if you know what his nerve condition could have been caused by, please pop that emoji in the chat if you have any idea, any inkling. It says here, diagnosed with a painful nerve condition, Shaun King asks for help paying for medical procedures.
Bruh.
What? This is next grift right here? Is this his next grift? So now he's raising money for his own cause? You see, before it was raising money for other people's causes. Now he's moved on to raising money for his own cause, which is slightly better. King said in an Instagram post. Let's pull this Instagram post up. Oh, my God. Here he is. All right, let's read what this says here. Oh, excuse me. It says, on most days, I'm asking for help for someone else, but today I'm asking for help for myself. All that grifting, he still ain't got no money. As you can see, I've been in the hospital a lot, trying anything I can to relieve the excruciating pain I'm experiencing after a lifetime of spinal injuries. So he's blaming this on a lifetime of spinal injuries. The chat's popping these emoji in the chat. Yeah, y'all definitely Hotep. I see y'all. I've now been diagnosed with something called occipital neuralgia, which is actually the worst pain I've experienced in my adult life. All right, who cares? So I just met my doctors, several procedures that aren't covered by my health insurance, and I just can't afford to do them on my own, but I damn sure refuse to stay like this. Would you please consider chipping in to help my family cover the cost of this next round of procedures and the expenses of me being off work? Off work. What work do you do, bro? You ain't got no job, Tommy. And unable to help much at all. Otherwise, thank you all so much. It was very hard for me to do this, but it was very hard for me to do this. Oh, come on. Look at you smiling in the picture. It was hard for you to do this. That's the griftiest smile I've ever seen in my life. That's a grifter's smile. Then he lists Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. He ain't even do the GoFundMe. He says, send that direct to my bank account. Come on, Shaun King. No, my first name is Jeffrey and Shaun is my middle name. Wow. Not even a GoFundMe, not a give, send, go. Straight to his bank account, no accountability. You can't even track how much he's going to make. What about that big ass house you got in New Jersey, Shaun King? You should have put it up for sale if you had problems with your health. He's probably in a hospital in New Jersey. They got, what's that, charity care they got? Should have signed up for charity care, man. Or just tell them bill you, man, and make payments on that surgery. Like everybody else, bruh. Now he out here raising funds. Cash App. You see the Cash App? He said that's that HJ with Rogan smile. Come on, man. Oh, Lord Jesus. Somebody help us. Somebody help us. The grifters are out of control this year. It's heavy grifting season, y'all. It is a heavy, heavy grifting season. Let's go back in the grift bag. It's so much to cover. We're 24 minutes into the show, and I haven't even gotten to the meat of the grift today. We got to talk about DeSantis and his protesters. But first, before we get to DeSantis and his protesters, I was recently blocked by just Pearlythings. I don't know if you guys know this, but unfortunately, Pearlythings had blocked me. And I'll show you why in just a moment. First, I have to go to my other account to access it. Wait, why can't I log into my other account? Wait, what the? I just had it up. You've locked me out, Elon? Hold on. I'll get into it in just a second. Hold on. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Come on. Next. Yep. Okay, log in. Account is logged in already, but I can't get into the, oh, there we go. Okay, now. Elon, your app janky, bro. Your app janky, bro. All right, let's go here. Let's go here. All right, so here's the video. I'm gonna play parts of the video. We're not gonna play the whole video. Most of you I just can't stand to hear this woman talk. So we're gonna play the video. Let's play the video first, and then you'll see what happened to get me blocked. So all
right, what up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearlythings YouTube channel, and welcome to Pearl Pissed Off Twitter. Now, I know before you guys come at me.
Hey, first things first, Pearly. First things first, Pearly. You gotta fix yourself up before you come on camera. You got the damn army shirt on. Look like you just woke up. You ain't throw no makeup on. Your hair looks disheveled. You didn't wash yourself before you made this video. Is this how you're training women to be with men and be attractive? You look dusty. You look dusty. I love you, but you're dusty. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's go.
I'm sorry, I just came from the gym, and sometimes I just have these thoughts. So
oh, you just came from the gym. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Today, I pissed off the Twitter universe. And there's a lot of...
I don't remember her pissing off the Twitter universe, but I don't know what's going on her side of things, but let's listen.
Serious tweeters on this app, and I'm not...
Somebody in the chat said they smash. You damn savage. I should mute you for that.
Oh, in the serious business of tweeting. So, what did I tweet? I said...
Trish said, brush your hair. Word. Fix yourself up before you get on camera, woman.
How can we as women see these numbers and think we're doing good as a whole, just as a group? 1 in 4 women have an STD. 1 in 3 women have had an abortion. 38% of kids are born at one point in their reproductive years. Women are from single mother homes. Knowing that these are the effects of our poor decisions.
Hotep Goldstein says she never looks kept up. Come on, man. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, Hotep Goldstein. We're going to open up phone lines in a little bit. 202-596-5631. Take your notes so you don't forget what you was going to say. Write it down. We're going to open up phone lines.
Okay? Knowing that if we do not increase the birth rate, which is about 1.2, and knowing that they're predicting, or knowing that if we do not increase the birth rate, that societies tend to collapse when women do not increase the birth rate, knowing that the average number of kids is like 1.5 nowadays, knowing that we're sluttier than ever before, we're fatter than ever before, why does everybody say I hate on women when the numbers say that unprecedentedly, women, we are the worst we have ever been in all of human history. Women need to improve. We need to improve. And I know what you're thinking.
All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. Let's just break down exactly what's going on with just Pearlythings grift, okay? And you know, this goes back to my interview with her. Now, I brought her on because I saw several videos, mostly from black content creators, highly critical of her, some in the UK, some in the US. Six Goddess did a video on her, and I watched Six's video, and Six doesn't particularly care for white people, so she was hypercritical. And so I don't agree with everything Six said, but I did appreciate her commentary because she's very, very entertaining. I love Six, and I love her channel. So, you know, I saw a lot of black content creators in her cipher. So I said, you know, maybe she's just one of those, you know, white girls who's hung out with black people a lot when she was younger, and she just understands our culture. And then as I was speaking to her, that's just not the truth. She, you know, this, you know, foray into the black community, which she purports is not a foray into the black community, well, basically is new, right? Now, when I had the interview with her, if you go check the comments on that interview, people were applauding me for doing such a great job. People said I should have been an attorney. They were saying it was an embarrassing moment for her and she looked really bad and all these things. And, you know, some people say I set her up. And you know what? The truth is, well, yeah, I did set her up.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
But I set her up like I set up everybody when I do my interviews, okay? When I do my interviews, my goal is to give you the opportunity to show the world or my viewers who you are. Now, if you're a good person, people are going to see that. And if you're a bad person, people are going to see that. All I do is reveal who you are. Now, Kay asked me earlier on Instagram, why is it that they don't see black conservatives and white conservatives do any debates? And it's because people run from people like Sonny Johnson. Why? Because of what I just said. When you are a lie, a truth will always expose you.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
So when I had the interview with her, I was trying to get her to just be real. I didn't want her to just go into her shell and become defensive and hide, because that's what it looked like she was doing to me. She kept hiding, and even her body language said it. She kept slouching into her seat, and the body language just really said, I really want to hide right now. And I kept giving her opportunity. I kept giving her the outs, like, just say this is what you are. Just say you're a content creator. Just say you're trying to get your grift on. We do it on this channel. I say, yo, I'm about to get my grift on. It's called the Grift Report. That's what we do. We run the Grifties. Shout out to grifties.com. So I gave her every opportunity to just come out and be real. And every time I gave her the opportunity, she went into her shell. So, you know, I know Brittany Venti has done a few videos on this. Chrissy Mayer has covered my interview with her. And they basically saw the same thing. But again, it was not my intention to make her look bad. I just wanted to understand who she was. And in my interviews, most of the time I say this in my end of my interviews, I say, wow, I really got to know you better because we had this conversation. And that's what happens in these conversations. I ask questions in such a way to get to know who you are. So I do expose you, but it could be good or it could be bad, depending on how you handle the interview. And I think she handled my interview quite poorly. So with that being said, what is her grift? Her grift is obviously the manosphere space, right? Now, what happened was she hosted Nick Fuentes and she received some backlash. And then she issued an apology. Then by the time she got to me, she changed her stance and basically rescinded the apology, which means that the apology in the first place was not genuine. It was not real. It was fake. It was fraudulent. It was synthetic. It was artificial. And again, like I said in my interview, I just want you to be real. Now, if you issue an apology, you stand on it. If you don't issue an apology, you say, I'm not issuing an apology, and you stand on it. But the fact that she flip-flopped, my guess is when she issued the apology, she saw the outpouring of conservatives, alt-right, white nationalist media, personalities, accounts, et cetera, and she saw all of this support and she goes, wait, I can still keep my grift going and just pivot to this audience? So I believe, I'm just guessing here, that she's understands that, oh, I don't even need the black audience because there's this whole conservative audience that I can serve and I can keep my grift going. So that's my guess as to why she rescinded her apology. She doubled down, wants to bring Nick Fuentes back, et cetera, because she can keep the coin rolling. So what is her relationship grift? Well, it's no secret what the manosphere grift is. Hate on women. Uncle Hotep has said this before. It's feminism for men. And he's partly right. Because there are many men who can't get women. So they're basically bifurcated into two groups. Men who have the ability to get women and men who just frankly don't because they're not ready. They don't have money. They're fat. They're skinny. They're ugly. Whatever it is, they just can't get women. Or they're brokenhearted, right? So some men listen to the manosphere content to figure out how to get women. If you want to do that, I suggest Coach EO. Great content on how to get women. But then there's some other parts of the manosphere where they women bash and it gets clicks. It works. Not only do you infuriate feminists, but you also get all the incels and all the men who have been hurt by their mama, their ex-girlfriend, their ex-wife. They got, divorce graped, all these different groups. So she understands is if I can bash women, that is the play in the manosphere lane. Now, the question now becomes is that healthy for the world? Is that healthy for America, for relationships, for men, for women, children? The answer is no. Frankly, it's not. You got to call a spade a spade. Now, I did a video, a very experimental video, where I just basically told people everything wrong with women. And it worked. It went viral. I got clips. I posted a clip today about cat women. I got a bunch of other clips in the hopper. And it was very experimental. It worked and people loved it. One guy commented, he said, that was one of your best streams ever. And I'm like, I guess, right? Mostly because I can get in my bag and I can have a little bit of comedy, have a little bit of fun, et cetera, et cetera. But if you bash women, you can make a pretty good coin. Now, it's a bit different when women do it than when men do it. It's sort of like a pick-me lane, right? Now, when women do it, it's more powerful. It's the equivalent of being a black conservative bashing black people. You become the right's darling. Candace Owens, for example. Love Candy. Love Candy. But that's her grift, right? Let me find something wrong with the black community. Let me tell them why reparations doesn't work. Da 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 da. And the right will make me their darling. They'll make me their princess. They'll make me their queen. Well, the same grift is happening with Pearlythings. If I'm hypercritical of the group that I'm a part of, then they're going to lift me up, make me their princess, their queen, etc., etc. So that's the grift that she's on. And it works. And there's other women out there who do this. This is a lane for female content creators, basically to say, hey, listen, I know I can jig men out of clicks and views and engagement by bashing other women. So that being said, why did I get blocked? Well, Nerd Nash says, did she lose her chance at a grifty because she working hard, laughing my ass off? And I said, she going hard. Then somebody else responded later to a tweet, and I scrolled up to the top and I saw that her tweet looked like it was deleted. And I'm like, either it's deleted or I'm blocked. So I went to her account, and sure enough, I was blocked. Let's go back there. Let's pull that up. No. Hold on. Let's put that on the screen. Just so we got to have the visuals alongside all of it. And then we'll move on to the next topic here. Where is it? Here we go. So then I was blocked. I said, yo, nerd, you got me blocked. Right? Now, I never commented on my interview with her. This is the first time I've given people my thoughts on my interview with Just Pearlythings. I just been quiet about it because, well, frankly, I thought she looked bad enough and I didn't want to double down on it. You know, I don't want to like I said, I'm not here to like bash people. That's just not what my platform's about. So then, you know, after the exchange with Nerd that you guys just saw, it said I got blocked. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yo, you talk all that shit about, you know, being a woman and, you know, the manosphere and the red pill. And I just would have thought you would have had, you know, tougher skin than that, you know. And then meanwhile, she goes Karen on me. She just pulled the Karen on me. Just pulled the Karen on me. I'm just like, it goes against everything you preach. But again, she seems a bit fraudulent. So yeah, that's what I would expect. So that's my spiel on Just Pearlythings. And hopefully I'll never have to talk about her on this channel again. But that made it to the Griff Report. Shout out to Nerd for getting me blocked. Let's go. Since we're talking about Karens, we got an update here from CitiBike Karen. Now, this is funny because I had somebody DM me, one of my homies, he DM'd me. He said, Hotep, some details are coming out about CitiBike Karen, and it's not looking good. It looks like you may have been wrong in your judgment about CitiBike Karen. She's not exactly a Karen. It looks like these gentlemen may have done something wrong. And I said to him, I'm like, I don't know about that, bro, because those was fake tears. She put on fake tears. So I'm still going to believe the original narrative based upon reading her body language. Her body language said fraudulent. So let's go to the update.
The only reason why Sarah Jane Comrie was able to produce this receipt for this bicycle is because she jumped over this young man standing right here who had his hands on the handlebars, jumped over him, impales herself on his bike, and scans the QR code to begin the ride. How did all of this happen, and how do I know what happened? Because that young man is my little brother.
Uh-oh. Big sister came with the receipts.
Bike number 5603915 was in my brother's possession from St. Nicholas Ave, Manhattan Ave, all the way to First Ave and East 30th Street from the hours of 6:33 p.m. to 7:19 p.m. At 7:19 p.m., they dock the bikes. Sarah Jane Comrie walks up to them, asks, hey guys, can I use one of you guys' bikes? She says this as there are other bikes sitting idle at the bike rack. They politely declined. She asked them again, mentioned that she's pregnant, and they still declined. Then, with my brother standing next to the bike with his hands on the handlebars, she jumps onto the bike, sits on the bike, and scans the QR code, thus beginning her ride. Mind you, the bike was in my brother's possession at this time. So this screenshot is from 6 minutes after the previous ride ended. As you can see, 7:25 p.m. Previous ride ended 7:19 p.m. These gentlemen, these boys, did not steal this bike from Sarah Jane Comrie. She stole the bike from them, then proceeded to weaponize her whiteness. Video started being recorded at 7:24 p.m., close to 7:25.
The receipts. You see the timestamp. The receipts.
Brother's ride that was in the previous screenshot starts at 7:25. The initial ride where my brother rode the bike all the way over to this bike dock ended at 7:19 p.m. There were a number of bikes at the bike rack already there when she arrived. She still proceeded to try.
Hold on. We got a Karen in the chat. Hold on. Angelia Hoffman said, so he racked it, but was going to use it again. Have you ever done a ride share? Have you ever rented a scooter or a bike? First of all, I need you to answer that question with yes or no. Yes or no. Because I'm telling you right now, I have. When I was in Austin, Texas, I often rent one of those scooters when I'm in Austin, Texas, usually to get around because I just don't want to Uber and because it's just fun to ride these little scooters, right? These motor scooters. But I can tell you right now, when I get off that scooter and I park it at, the burger spot that I'm going to or wherever I'm at, don't touch my scooter because I'm coming back out for that same scooter to get back to my hotel. So I'm usually very territorial. So I'll end my ride. And I've been in situations before where somebody comes up, I'm like, nah, chill. That's my bike. That's my scooter. Don't touch a scooter. I'm using that. I am about to activate it as soon as I'm done with my food. So yes, it is very common to do that. It is very common to rack a bike or put your scooter down and then ride the same thing back to where you came from. So let's not start playing Karen in the chat, Angelia. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not get off topic. So you can, come to the rescue of your fellow white. Now, technically, can somebody else take the scooter after you're done with it or take the bike? Yeah, technically, yeah. I mean, according to the system. But we're human beings here, and there's something called respect. And this lady, I think, frankly, lacked respect.
To take the bike from my brother. Help. Trying to make it seem like these boys stole this bike from her. The bike is on my brother's account.
So this is a situation where if you're white, you're probably going to take the Karen side. And if you're black, you're going to take the black boy's side. And this, again, creates the racial divide. The problem is nobody can put their racial bias aside and call a spade a spade. You got to put your racial bias aside. So Belle Elaria said she paid for it, you putz. Well, yeah, after she jumped over the guy. After she jumped over the guy. After all those other bikes are available, so of course, there's no way this Karen could be wrong. If you're white, of course, there's no way she could be wrong. It was a group of black guys. They were in the wrong. She was in the right. We shouldn't call her Karen. I get it. I know. It's the race thing. I get it. Fact of the matter is, I'm judging my opinion off of her fake tears. She tried to pull the fake tears out. That's what I judge this off of. She tried to act and pull off the whole, I'm a victim thing and screaming, help, and all this other shit. It's just like humans can't just operate like adults and just go get another bike. Like, really? So yeah, that's the CitiBike Karen thing. If you want to call in and argue with me, we'll open up the phone lines in a little bit. And I don't mind arguing. I don't mind debating. Just fair warning. I'm undefeated in debates. So, and don't get upset. Please don't get in your feelings after I destroy you in the debate. Please just don't. Anyway, before we get into the DeSantis stuff, let's move on to our relationship portion of this. And let's see here. Jonathan Majors took Megan Good to Red Lobster. Fellas, don't take nobody to Red Lobster. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Haram Life said HJ losing a lot of his mall base right now. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. They'll be back tomorrow. They could log off and be mad at me today, but they'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Calling it straight down the middle. You know me. I'm calling it. I don't waver. I don't waver. But fellas, we're not taking nobody to Red Lobster. That's a very bad date. I do not suggest that. We're not staying on that topic too long because, well, yeah. We don't have to. Let's go to Tyrese. Tyrese is having some divorce troubles. Let's pull this up.
I left the courtroom during my divorce trial, and I realized that it was never love. It was just a transaction. Wow, so we did a whole marriage and did the whole duration of a child and starting a family just to find out that it was all about money, status, transaction. Imagine me being the only actor in a relationship to then realize that I was in a relationship for 5 years with one of the best actors I've ever met in my life. I left the courtroom.
So he got divorce great. And I got to tell you, man, when you're a guy, a high value man like Tyrese, and you meet a woman, you should probably just assume she only wants you for your money. You should just assume that. This is why you probably want to hang out with chicks that don't know who you are, don't know what you got, and you don't want to flash your money, and you want to pick her up in a broke car, see if she still likes you, or date women that knew you before the fame and all the money. But if you're a guy like Tyrese and you meet a pretty woman like this, a pretty light-skinned woman like this, you know she's coming for the guala. You know she's coming for the guala. And I think this just comes down to the fact that men have to do a better job vetting women. And I told you, just don't go based upon what they say, go based upon what they do. And if you read the Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, you'll know what to look for. Go get that on Amazon or HotepJesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
But, I'm not going to... I don't feel bad for Tyrese. I just don't. When guys get raped, you lay down with her. That's just what you get when you lay down with a woman. And I would never take to the internet and tell people, hey, I got divorced great. No, just take my L and just, keep it moving. Nobody else needs to be involved in, my shitty decisions. And, he should have, you just got to vet your partners better, man. Go based upon their actions. And like I said, I've detailed this in Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, and that's available on HotepJesus.com or Amazon. And protect yourself, fellas. If you got something of worth, protect yourself, because women are hypergamous by nature, and they should be. Frankly, I think they should be. But, there needs to be some balance between love and hypergamy. But most of these girls out here, they're just looking for the bag, bro. Trying to secure it. They don't want to work. I don't blame them. I don't think women should work, but they don't have a code of ethics. There's no code of ethics for some of these women, and life just gets so desperate that they'll do anything. Let's go to the next piece of relationship advice. Hold on. Let me go back in the bag. Should I want to cover that one, or wait, do I have another one in here? Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, I have two more relationship pieces here. It says, how do I ask a man out on a date? I realize this seems like it has a simple answer, but after having been in Christian subculture where women weren't supposed to ask men out, I'm learning a new skill. Submit answers by 5 p.m. Eastern Friday. It's a good question. How does a woman ask a man out on a date? I don't think you necessarily have to directly ask him out on a date. I think that... you can, you just throw hints, or just ask them like, are you afraid to ask me out? Or, say, drop a link to a restaurant. I would love to go here. You know, those types of hints. Or just ask them, you know, when are you gonna take me out? Simply. You know, I don't know what Christian subculture teaches, but ladies, it's never a bad thing to shoot your shot. You know, I say in Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity that, fellas, if you set your masculinity up right, women will shoot their shot. And many do. Many women do shoot their shot in many different ways. But, you know, I think the best way to do it is some nice hints. You know, don't make them too subtle, but, you know, you should just throw them some hints. You know, flirt with them a little bit more and give them some compliments and tell him you're thinking about him, things like that. And then he'll make the next move. But I think, you know, you don't have to necessarily talk about the date, but maybe the problem is you're not making it, you know, quite apparent that you're interested in him. So he's wondering, like, is she interested in me? Because there are many guys out here that are afraid of rejection. And that's really what it comes down to. So if you can make him feel like he won't be rejected, he'll shoot his shot. And, I just feel like people just play too many relationship games and hiding and how they feel and all this stuff. And then, you know, it's like this dance almost. Anyway, let's go to this next one. So the person says, men of Twitter, how would you start a conversation with this group of ladies on a night out? Now, obviously, this is the Kardashian clan here. So let's pretend it's not the Kardashian clan. Let's just pretend it's just a group of girls and they're having a ladies' night out, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you approach these women, okay? What you got to do is you got to go after the least attractive one. The fat girl, the ugly one, the least attractive one, and give her your attention. Because what most guys do is they go straight for the hot girls, and the hot girls feel bad because nobody's hitting on her fat or her ugly friend. So, you know, she'll like reject you just to have that camaraderie with her girls, and they're going to giggle about it, et cetera, et cetera. And also, like, sometimes very attractive women, they get off on rejecting guys, and like, you know, and a lot of times, you know, I said this before, you know, women, when they leave the house, their attention cup is full now because of social media. Back in the day, a woman didn't get attention. She had to leave the house to get attention. So when she leaves the house now, her attention cup is already full. And so that's why you'll see women say, oh my God, these guys are catcalling me. This is harassment, da 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 da. And it's because her attention cup has already been filled with guys from the internet. So when she goes on the streets and she gets more attention, it's annoying because she's been dealing with this all day. Whereas you look at women before, you know, even, you know, Six talks about this. She said, you know, back in like the 50s and 60s, if you didn't compliment a woman walking down the street, she considered that disrespectful. You had to tip your hat when you saw a beautiful young woman walking down the street. You had to compliment her on her looks. You had to compliment her on her walk, et cetera, et cetera. But now with social media, things have changed. The women, they have their attention cup already full. So you got to be careful when you're in public. But coming back to what I'm saying is, you got to hit on, somebody in the chat said, we hitting on Chloe then? Yeah, you might want to hit on the mom. You see the mom over there in the cut? Hit on mom. What's up, baby? How you? Da 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 da. Right? Then you're gonna need some wingmen. You're gonna need some very, very strong wingmen. Now, there's nothing worse than a weak wingman. Oh, there's nothing worse than a weak wingman. You know, he's afraid to talk to women, or he's just not charismatic enough, or he's fucking creepy or some shit like that. Or even if he's unintentionally creepy, right? Like sometimes guys are just so, you know, socially awkward that they come off creepy. You know, it's like they're staring at the girls and it looks like he's staring, but really he's staring because he's like a deer in headlights. He's petrified. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I say? And all these thoughts are going through his head. So sometimes he's not creepy. He just comes off creepy. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a strong wingman. Now I got to tell you something. Real quick story. I saw a group of girls hanging out one time. It's 4 of them. It was just me. No wingman. Okay. And I did exactly that. I approached the ugly one. Okay. And I excused myself to the ladies, Actually, it was 3 of them. 2 Hispanics and the black girl. And the black girl was dark skinned and she just wasn't attractive at all. But knowing what I know, my, dating jujitsu, and I really wasn't, trying to score or anything like that. I was just really bored because I was by myself. And the homies left. So, I excused myself. I sat at the table and I gave her the less attractive one. Let me not say ugly. The less attractive one. I gave her my attention and I locked eyes with her and we began conversing. And then I opened up the conversation to the rest of them. And they were like, oh, he's so cool. So we hung out and we talked for like an hour. And they were like, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, nothing, chilling. What's up? What you trying to do? And they invited me out to the club, So then went back to my hotel room. This is many years ago. I was in my 20s at this point. And came back out, went to the club, and got to the club. And now I shot my shot at not the baddest one. This time I went for the medium one. The one that was like right in the middle, because the baddest ones, I ain't got time for the baddest ones. They got fucking issues. Anyway, that's a whole nother story for another day. So I shot my shot at the medium one, and she was throwing me the vibes, because obviously she's thinking in my head, like, damn, you just talked to the ugly one? What about me, right? So this is the thought you put in women's heads. So the medium one's now throwing me vibes, but then it got messed up. So this is where you got to be careful. You can't throw the vibes at the other ugly girl the less attractive girl too hard, because she ended up crying. I done made the girl cry. So now the bad one and the less attractive one are in the corner, and she's hugging her and consoling her, and she's crying because she thought, we was about to, hang out. We were about to be a thing, I guess. But I was just like, So you got to be careful. When you talk to the ugly one, don't go too hard. I made that mistake, but that's just some good advice. Hotep Ronin. Now take this advice with a grain of salt, because this advice doesn't work for everybody, right? These are prescriptions, and you frankly, you just got to be careful handing out prescriptions and taking prescriptions. Which brings us to the premiere of today's stream. The DeSantis situation. Which one should I pull out? Pause. Okay, let's pull this up. Hold on. Let me open up my tabs, because we got several tabs with the DeSantis situation. I'm not going to play all of them in its entirety. However, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, that's the last one. All right, let's put this one on the screen, because this one's funny. Let's open with this one. AI is something else, I gotta tell you. So somebody has like a mock Twitter Spaces, and well, yeah, you can see the faces on the screen.
Hi everyone, welcome to our Ron DeSantis Twitter Space.
Hello, is my microphone working correctly?
George, can
wait. What song is that? What song is that? What song is that, y'all? Somebody tell me what song that is.
Hi everyone, welcome to our Ron DeSantis Twitter Space.
Hello, is my microphone working correctly?
George, can you just
get ready? We're gonna open up phone lines right after the DeSantis segment.
Wait while we...
Hello, can you hear me?
We can all hear you, George. Can you just hold on for a second?
Hilfa, I don't think they can hear me.
I can hear you fine, George. Just speak to the
I don't think George knows how to use Twitter.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I'm coming, hold on. Yeah, clever, very clever insert there.
Please make my big announcement now. Everyone just...
Hello!
Just shut up, George.
Can somebody just mute George?
Dick, could you try not...
Not Dick Cheney coughing.
George.
Can somebody just mute George?
Dick, could you try not to cough on the...
Okay, so how are we going to take out Trump, you guys?
Guys from the FBI, this is not a private call. This is a public Twitter space. Everyone can listen in.
Oh, Trump. That's a song they play at Trump rallies. Oh, okay.
God damn it.
Oh, that was a pause moment. My bad. Pause.
Anyway, guys, we invited everyone to this Twitter space so Governor Ron DeSantis could.
Everyone just shut the hell up so I can make my announcement, okay?
You go, girl.
Wait, the devil is gay?
So what? Everyone in this call is gay. I happen to know every single one of you has a secret gay lover hidden in your closet.
Mein Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die Soldaten, die für Sie verpflichtet sind, Feiglinge!
Guys, can we please just calm down?
So anyway, guys, I just wanted to announce that I'm...
Okay, I can hear the governor very well.
Shut up. Would you please shut up already? I'm running for fucking president, okay?
Yeah, we kind of already knew about it.
Know, Governor.
Congratulations, Governor.
Well, that concludes our Twitter space for today. Thank you to all of our...
Hold your horses, Elon. The real president is going to say a few words. The devil, I'm going to kick your ass very soon. Hitler, you're already dead. Dick Cheney sounds like you'll be joining Hitler very soon. Klaus Schwab and George Soros, I'm putting both your asses in jail. And Ron DeSanctimonious can kiss my big, beautiful 2024 presidential ass. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go.
Yo, AI is going to be amazingly entertaining in the future. I mean, it already is. Absolutely wonderful spoof here of the Ron DeSantis space. Now, Ron DeSantis has his Twitter space. Elon's getting his grift on and exploiting the Ron DeSantis campaign, and it crashes. And people say, oh, you know, Trump's town hall with CNN only did 3 million views, and this did however many views. And I don't think you can make that comparison, mostly because there's two firepowers here. You had Ron and Elon. Now, if we would have said Elon and Trump, I'm sure Elon and Trump is going to do way more views than Elon and Ron. Probably double, I would guess. Now, people have asked me, Hotep, were you going to listen to the Twitter spaces? No, I'm not listening to fucking Elon and Ron basically jabber on about nothing. You know, there's nothing interesting to me, at least, that was going to come out of this Twitter space. At least with Trump, we're going to get some entertainment. Ron's not entertaining, bro. Somebody said, are you listening to this stuff just for entertainment? Yes. Yes. Purely for entertainment. Ron's a politician. He's going to lie to me. Why would I sit down and sign up for lies? That makes absolutely no sense. Rhino Ron. Establishment Ron. Neocon Ron. Why, literally, why would I sign up to listen to this space? Now, I know some people are going to sign up because they want to get their grift on. They want to, listen and get their clips and, be on stage and be in the audience and all this other stuff. And, every time somebody shows up in one of these Twitter spaces, everybody runs, and then everybody has side Twitter spaces and all this stuff. And I get it, my cup of tea doesn't have to be your cup of tea. So I would never criticize you for wanting to listen to this. But please don't criticize me for not wanting to listen to it. Because I just frankly don't want to hear anything Ron has to say. I like what he did with critical race theory. I like what he's doing with the rainbow stuff. And outside of that, I don't find him that fascinating. I love that he created the place of Florida for me in the middle of the pandemic where I can go down there, et cetera, et cetera. But, outside of the Bud Light Target people, I really, I'm just not that impressed. And maybe there's something I should be impressed about. If you think there is something I should be impressed about with Ron, then, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. But frankly, I knew it would be boring. Many people said it was boring, but I'm like, you should have known that from the very beginning. With that being said, let's go to the next clip. And this one's a bit long.
I'm here outside of the
I do want to listen to all of this. I listened to, I think, about maybe 2 minutes of it, maybe last night. And I cut it off at a certain point because I wanted to have a natural reaction to it for today's stream. So this is Blacks for Trump. And let's see interview by Laura Loomer. So let's see what he has to say.
I'm here outside of the Four Seasons Resort in Miami on Brickell Avenue with Maurice from Blacks for Trump. So what are you doing here today outside of DeSantis' presidential announcement?
I'm here to destroy DeSantis because he's a bastard from hell. I'm here to let...
Obviously, when these people speak, you can get a lot of hyperbole. You know, he called Ron a bastard from hell. I don't know enough about Ron to classify him as a bastard from hell. I wouldn't call him a bastard from hell. Neocon is, to me, scathing enough. But I get the grift.
Him know that...
Now, I will say Laura Loomer's been on Ron's ass all year, if not longer. And she definitely doesn't like Ron. She's been exposing Ron. So if you don't like Ron, you should... Zion Ron? Oh, my God. Come on, man. So, you know, she's definitely the perfect person for this interview. And if you just watch Laura Loomer's face, she's loving this.
I helped you only because Trump asked us to actually go out and help. We stopped Barbara Grant from cheating on you and Rubio and a few others. And this is how you repay Trump. Shows me that you are a traitor, no good bastard from hell. So what I'm going to do is make sure that you don't win.
Now, what I'll say is this. You know, I prefer Trump, but I'm not one of those guys that's mad that Ron is running. I don't see it as traitorous. I see this as it's beneficial to us. First of all, when you have an election, you want options. You want them to scrutinize each other. This is how you get the cream to rise to the crop. Steel sharpens steel. So I like that he's running. I don't think there's anything wrong with the fact that he's running, and we should have a diversification of opinions. But also, you know, we have to think beyond 2024. If Ron is going to be a viable candidate in 2028, because I'm definitely choosing Ron over anything the left has to offer, he's got to start now on his 2028 run. So I don't see him running in 2024 as a threat. And I don't see it as something that is bad or backstabbing. And quite frankly, you know, him and Trump going back and forth, let's be honest, people, that's WWE stuff. If you guys think this stuff is serious beef, you're getting the wool pulled over your eyes, bro. These guys are probably texting each other behind the scenes, laughing about, you know, I'm going to say this about you. It's like me and Uncle Hotep and how we jaw it at each other. Pause. But, you know, it's not something to be taken like, you know, we got to pick sides. I think if you think this is a situation where it's like, oh, Ron's some bad guy because he's running, you just don't know how politics works. If you're like, oh my God, like I seen some people say things like, oh my God, they're attacking each other. We're dividing the right. Oh my God, what are we doing? It's like, no, this is politics. They sling mud. They sling shit at each other. This is part of the game. It's part of the game. Like, are y'all new to this or what? But I'll say this before I press play again. If Ron is going to run in 2028, he has to start now. Jordan was the one that really gave me a good, he used to be a campaign manager, or he used to work on campaigns. And a few years back, you know, he gave me like a 2-hour, you know, consultation teaching me how, you know, political campaigns work. And he basically says, nobody really wins on their first time out. Trump is an anomaly. He said, for the most part, you got to, like, first of all, there's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of infrastructure that has to be put in place. You have to figure out what works in your campaign, you know, what works in your platform, what different planks in your platform should you substitute for other planks in your platform, reading the base, trying to figure out, you know, what resonates amongst your base, looking at your poll numbers, you know, that sort of situation. But there's a lot of things to work out. So what he says is, if you want to be elected, you know, let's say we're just talking about local elections. You want to be elected, you know, a year from now, you got to run this year to get to win next year or the year after. So this is Ron, you know, getting his licks in and getting his feet wet so that he's a viable candidate in 2024.
And that everybody knows that you're a rhino Republican race.
Babylon's Bully said, I feel like HJ heard the word pause first time in his life a month ago. Man, I remember it was summer 2006. And we were heavy in the music game at this point. And pause game was, to me, I think we started playing the pause game in 2006. Summer 2006, I think is when we started playing the pause game.
That's right. Because those are the racists. Republicans and deplorables are not racist. The ones that make everybody look racist is you damn rhinos like you, right. Ronnie.
Now, you know, calling people racist, calling Ron racist, I don't know about that. It seems a little bit lowbrow, seems a little bit low-hanging fruit. Hobo said Ron announcing on Twitter is only meant to tempt Trump back to Twitter. So you think Elon's playing some 3D chess there? Possibly. I thought about that. I don't know. I don't want to give him that much credit, but it's possible.
So I'm against the racist rhinos for Ronnie.
So what in particular would you say, as a black Trump supporter and a black voter in America, turns you off about Ron DeSantis and what you're calling racist policies?
So this is where I cut it off last night. I remember now. This is where I cut it off. And if you listen to his response, he said, what exactly about him has racist policies? And I listened to the first part of his explanation, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with racism. So let's see what else he has to say.
Well, first of all, the biggest turnoff is actually going against Trump. The man.
So you called the man racist, but to support that, you say, my biggest turnoff is he's running against Trump. What does that have to do with racism?
And who got you in? And the other turnoff is you don't know how to even talk to black people. You out there talking about critical race, whatever that is, but you won't explain that it's because of other situations. You got black people thinking it's because you don't want black history taught, which is the dumbest thing in the world.
I don't know if that's Ron's fault as so much as the media. I thought Ron was quite clear in his language, at least to me, that he was concerned with, you know, the Bud Light targets. That's what I thought. That's what I got from what Ron was saying. And he didn't want divisive material basically villainizing white people in some of this literature. Now, I saw some bins the other day. It was like 3 bins at a school full of books, and they were throwing some of them away, and they were saying some of the titles. And I'm looking at the titles, and I'm like, yeah, maybe that book probably could stay in the school. This book, that book. But again, there were a bunch of books I had never read, so I don't know what's in them. But I would like to know why some of those books were chosen and what's in them. But let's continue.
That's why I love Trump, because he goes right down the middle of the Republicans and the Democrat Confederate rebels, and he gets in with what they call Trumpism. So I'm for Trump. And so Trump must get in because one.
So Ron's racist because of critical race theory? Ron's racist because he misses his messaging on critical race theory? Now, keep in mind, I'm not a Ron guy. But if you're on my channel, you know I'm calling shit straight down the middle. I'm calling shit straight down the middle. And King SF, Boondock was the first time. Yeah, Boondock had the pause game. Matter of fact, we were watching Boondocks heavy in 2006. You're right.
Once you cheat on a man, if you're playing basketball and there's a foul, you give a man his shot over again. But here you go, they fouled Trump by cheating, and you're not allowing him to take his shot again, which means you are a part of the treason, boy. So since you want to be a treasonous bastard, I'm here to let everybody know that you're a treasonous bastard. So when it's time, like I told Trump and everybody else, when it's time to call Obama to the floor for treason, only I can say arrest Obama. That's right. Nobody else can, because I'm the real black man.
So what is, I know that you've been a lawyer.
Not allowing him to take his shot again, which means you are a part of the treason, boy. So since you want to be a treasonous bastard, I'm here to let everybody know that you're a treasonous bastard. So when it's time, like I told Trump and everybody else, when it's time to call Obama to the floor for treason, only I can say arrest Obama.
What? If they pull Obama on the floor to arrest him for treason, this guy's not going to be anywhere around. It's going to be Congress. It's going to be Trump. All right, I'm going to let him get his grift off. I got to let him get his grift off, though. Let's see.
Nobody else can, because I'm the real black man.
So I know that you've been a longtime Trump supporter. I remember seeing you in 2015, 2016. Right. You traveled all the way to New York because we crossed paths in New York at the Trump rally. So you are a Trump loyalist. What are you finding in the black community here in Florida, because you are a Floridian? How is the black community reacting to this presidential primary thus far? And do you think that President Trump has gained more support from the black community since his first term?
Way more, because I got my radio station that goes from Vero Beach all the way to Florida City. It's on 88.7 and 89.1. They call me every day on, you mean to tell me, what do you want us to do, Michael? Black people are all for Trump. And nobody knows because they're scared to really say it out loud because they get ridiculed. But they all love Trump. Most of them voted. How do you think we won 2016? Because black people went the other way and didn't say anything. The independents went the other way and didn't say nothing. So they call me on my radio station all the time on my phone number. And every week I put out articles in the Miami Times, the New Times, and CityLink. I put it out every week, full-page ads on how Trump, because we getting ready to do a big event with Trump with 67 black stars, right, like the OJs, the Supreme, the Temptations, all these famous black people are going to do an event for the vets, and we're going to support Trump.
Great. Well, we're going to be on Loomer.
Wait a second. Wait, what?
You want to learn?
Black.
Wait a second. The OJs and Trump? That would be fire. I'm here for that. That would be interesting. If 67 black stars come out and do an event with Trump. Now, I'm not saying an event for Trump and, he comes out and he does his spiel. No, Trump got to be there. The OJ's got to perform. Trump got to perform. All these different stars got to perform, and Trump has to be there. So let's play that back. I just want to make sure.
All the time on my phone number, and every week I put out articles in the Miami Times, the New Times, and CityLink. I put it out every week, full-page ads on how Trump, because we getting ready to do a big event with Trump.
See, he says big event with Trump.
With 67 black stars, right, like the OJs, the Supreme, the Temptations, all these famous black people are going to do an event for the vets.
Now, he said with Trump, then he changed it to for the vets. And then he says here,
and we're going
to support Trump. So I think he may have misspoke when he said he's going to do it with Trump. I don't see the OJ Supremes and the Temptations doing an event with Trump. Frankly, I just don't see that happening. But I would love to see that happen.
Support Trump.
Great. Well, we're going to be putting this online. And
all right, let's go to the next clip. No, not Bryson yet. Hold on. Let's go to this clip right here. They got some protesters out there protesting DeSantis. All this is just so weird.
No one wants DeSantis. The Trumpers don't want DeSantis. The leftists don't want DeSantis. The socialists.
I mean, of course the Trumpers don't want DeSantis. The Trumpers want Trump.
Don't want DeSantis. The immigrants don't want DeSantis. The black people don't want DeSantis. The gay children don't want DeSantis.
The what children?
My body, my choice. Her body, her choice. Their body, their choice. Her body, his choice. No peace. No justice.
What? Be Bud Light, do crimes. What kind of messaging is this? What?
No peace. You bad boy. books, you ban drag. Kids are still in body bags. You ban books, you ban drag. Kids are still in body bags.
You ban books, you ban drag. Kids are still in body bags.
You ban books.
These are some weird ass cheers here. Chants.
You ban drag. Kids are still in body bags.
Got a black man in a Captain America suit. God bless America.
You ban books, you ban drag. Kids are still in body bags. You ban books, you ban drag. Kids are still in body bags. Ron DeSantis, go away. Racist, sexist, anti-gay. Ron DeSantis, go away. No one.
It's just pure mental illness. What's this clip here?
Oh, but not the horse. Shame. Hey.
Looks like a very light crowd out there. A bunch of unattractive women.
Liberation for all when you really mean.
Attractive women don't have time for this shit. I'm telling you right now. You ain't gonna find no attractive women out there. You ain't gonna have no attractive women that's gonna be out there. You're gonna have a bunch of women who have nothing better to do at the time, looking to hook up with each other. And these are the people that have, an attractive woman right now is probably getting her hair and nails done, or she's tanning, or she's entertaining a couple of guys on social media, trying to figure out what she's going to do for the weekend. No attractive woman is going to be at these rallies. And that's unfortunate because at one point I thought, I told guys, I say, a protest is a good place to go and date. But now the fact that it's been co-opted by the Bud Lights, yeah, you're probably not going to find anything good out there. But you're never going to see an attractive woman at these rallies.
Some. Hey! If you are anti-ho, you are anti-black.
Wait, whoa. What'd she say? I know she didn't just say what I thought she said.
Ho, you are anti-black. If you are anti-ho, you are anti-black. If you are anti-ho, you are anti-immigrant.
She said, if you are anti-ho, you are anti-black. If you are anti-ho, you are anti-immigrant. So black people and immigrants are hoes?
If you are anti-ho, you're standing with DeSantis.
Everybody trying to figure out what the fuck she's talking about. I think this one was gotta be, she's probably in the Bud Light division at Charlie Indigo Alpha. This must be the Bud Light division at Langley. She glows. This is where they try to implant the messaging at these rallies. It's just like, hey, this is what we're trying to push here. This is bizarre.
If you are anti-ho, you need to walk out right now because
She done ran out of ammunition. She didn't even know what to say right there.
we don't have room for that on the left. If you are anti-ho, you need to walk out right now because we don't have room for that on the left.
All right, so she just told on herself again. They always tell on themselves. So basically what she's saying is if you're anti-ho, you can't be a leftist, which, well, I guess it makes sense. Which leads me to, this is a good time to talk about my tweet. So let's go to my tweet because I had a epiphany today. Let me see if did Ebro respond to this yet? Ebro, I need you to lift my suspension to Hot 97, bro. Let's see, we got 2 quote tweets. Huh? You just making shit up. Plus you got the whole GOP to help you promote your grift. Damn. All right, I got to respond to him. No, you told me I was blackballed. Ebro, you told me I was blackballed. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. Okay, right here. I said, I have a theory that sex workers are a vital component to the proliferation of the red pill. I'll explain on the Griff Report today. So let me explain this. Society follows women. So if women say, being a hoe is the way, much of society is going to follow that. Now, sex workers have tremendous control over their simp population, their simp horde. Whores and a whore horde. A whore horde. Oh, okay. A horde of whores. I don't know. There's a Eminem bar in there somewhere. Anyway, so they have tremendous control over their simp population, which means they have a ton of influence, which means, okay, so my brain did that fork again. So let's go to the fork. I remember being, a hip hop artist, and we used to go to the strip club. That's where you promoted your music. You promoted your music at the strip club, and we used to hang out at the strip club. And I was cool with strippers. I remember one time I was writing for a magazine, and I interviewed one of my friends who was an escort or a prostitute or something like that. We were social media acquaintances. We never had any relationship. We never flirted or anything like that. We were just cool. We thought the same on a lot of different situations. And I know, quite a few strippers. And I got to be honest with you, many of the dancers, exotic dancers, are actually really intelligent people. Like, they get it. Like, many of these sex workers are like Trump voters. They don't come out on their social media and say it, but many of them are Trump voters. But, thinking about being in the strip club, I remember my experiences and conversations with dancers, and they were actually quite intellectual. We had some great conversations. And some men even say they go to the strip club for therapy. They tell women their problems. They say, hey, here are the problems I'm having with my relationship. Here's the problems I'm having with my wife. Here's the problems I'm having with my girlfriend. So, the strip club has become, or has for a while now, I would say, probably many centuries, if not a millennia, a place of therapy for men. And it's probably a lot cheaper than a therapist, although a therapist would be covered by insurance. Anyway, yeah. So okay. So now coming back to my premise makes me think of, what's that girl's name again? Oh shit. It's something Ann. Who's that conservative girl on the right? We interviewed her on Men of Water. And then there's that other girl. Oh, let's type in OnlyFans and see what comes up. Here we go, right here. Leanne Starr, that's her name. So Jonesy the Potfire. Oh well, it's not there anymore. Okay, Leanne Starr, that's her name. So Leanne Starr comes to mind. Well, let's see if we can find this now. Hold on. And there's another one too. Okay, so Leanne Starr. So Leanne Starr she's an OnlyFans girl, right? So she's a sex worker. But it's kind of weird because she's on the conservative side of things, but she's an OnlyFans girl, but she makes like conservative content. Right? So she's on the conservative grift, which is interesting, right? Because conservatism, you're supposed to be traditional, you're supposed to be trad, you're not supposed to show your body, you're supposed to be anti-OnlyFans, anti-sex work, and all this type stuff. And but yet she's not that. However, she has conservative political values, I guess you can say. And I think sex workers are some of the greatest untapped allies for the right. Because, well, frankly, let's be honest, men are going to pay for sex. They're going to pay for the OnlyFans. But what type of OnlyFans do you want them to pay for? Would you rather them pay an OnlyFans model or a sex worker who's going to brainwash them into, getting a Fauci juice and voting for Biden? Or would you rather them influencing and bringing people over to the Trump, DeSantis, the red-white side of things? So I think there's something to be said about sex workers for political influence because they have such a stronghold over their simp population. Now, some of you may not think this is a serious topic, but, you know, frankly, intellectuals cannot always be understood. But this is a very serious topic because sex workers exist. We don't have to support them. We don't have to like them. But, and there's another girl, Candace, what's her name? She does an OnlyFans too, and I think she's married. Candace something. Not Candace Owens. And I think she's done pornography too. Anyway, doesn't matter. But, you know, I think this is an untapped demographic, and Adeptus Santos said, HJ, where is this going? It might be too intellectual for you. It just might be too intellectual for the people. This is like based thoughterly. No matter what you do, you're not going to obliterate sex work. It's going to exist. But I think demonizing sex workers might work against you. I think you might want to choose a different platform to speak about family, so on and so forth. Let them come to the realization that what they're doing is defunct, but there's always going to be sex workers. And I think political sex workers are an untapped resource. Probably too big brain for some of y'all. I know some of y'all don't like to think, right? Because you get stuck in these boxes. X is bad. Therefore, there's nothing you can do with X. And it's just like, well, you know, you can't use a hammer for everything. I understand that. But it's just hard for people to come outside. I understand, you know, you guys just, you're not able to come outside your box, et cetera, et cetera. But there's something untapped there. And remember I said it. And the phone lines are open. They're going to be open in a minute. So remember I said, if you want to argue with me, you want to debate, I'm about to open them up shortly. Let's go back into the videos here. So more protests. So this is my last point. Hold on. Bryson says here, he says, so conservatives are teaming up with liberals to go against DeSantis. Okay. And then later on, I believe he said, you know, this is something that would make him want to vote for DeSantis because conservatives teaming up with liberals is, it is kind of weird. So it says across the street from the anti-DeSantis progressives, anti-DeSantis conservatives also rallied in Miami. They were brought together by Laura Loomer to support Trump. Loomer herself was there and said all the worst people support Ron DeSantis. And then the Ford Fisher says, while the two sides clearly both hate DeSantis, it was also clear that there wasn't a true coalition being formed in Miami. And I didn't think that would be possible. I was like, there's no way Trumpers and the left are going to have a true coalition. But it's just weird that we have these people, you know, first of all, Trumpers protesting DeSantis to me sounds like money, right? It sounds like somebody said, hey, let's grift, let's mobilize our, email list, all the supporters on our email list, have them congregate, make a whole lot of more noise. It's more like a, what do you call it? Flash mob. In marketing, they have this thing called a flash mob, and you can pay agencies to do these flash mob demonstrations to bring awareness to your brand. And that's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of a flash mob execution, mostly to bring awareness to the Trump ban, to the Trump brand. So I think that's what this is about. I don't see this as being organic, although I'm sure some people have joined the protest organically. And of course, on the left-hand side of the thing is I'm pretty sure that's probably a leftist paid for flash mob situation. With that being said, we're going to open up phone lines right now. 202-596-5631. And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Most of you will be replaced by AI. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant. But you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Hotep Goldstein on the line. What up, bro? Talk to me, man. What's going on?
Yo, I'm glad you played them clips in that order, where you started with the Laura Loomer and the black dude, and then you went to the lunatic left, because I'd like to ask your chat, what was the difference between the two mental health speaking? Like, based on their mental health, what was the difference between those two groups? The black dudes for Trump and the crazy bitch who was talking about if you ain't liking hoes and you ain't liking black folks and all this other weird ass shit. Because I don't really see no goddamn difference between the two. This is what these goddamn parties has done to society. They got everybody on one. Everybody needs some type of Prozac or some goddamn shit to help them through this. This is what these parties have done. This is what these parties were engineered to do. And I don't see why we are even indulging in this shit. I would recommend that everybody just not vote for nobody. And if you do, write your own goddamn name in there. Have faith in yourself. Fuck it. Because this system got the fuck out. This is why I don't really fuck with Laura Loomer, because she knew what she was doing, and I know that's your Jew boo, but she knew what she was doing by platforming them dudes. Now they've been around for a while. They have their grift. I can respect that. But god damn, is that the face of black conservatism? A caricature? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I mean,
you don't fuck with blacks for Trump?
No, man, because look, I don't really fuck with nobody who's for, any of them four groups, for DeSantis, for Trump, because at the end of the day, ain't no one man serving 8 years gonna do a goddamn thing for nobody, period.
There's not much
now,
you can do, you're right.
If you're for a specific worldview, I can back that. But name me one instance whereby which either one of them candidates line up with that worldview. DeSantis is a fucking rhino, so he's going to say the right things and possibly even do some things to make you think, oh yeah, I'm on the level. But you can get that shit up out of here, because you're still going to send my money to Ukraine. So I'm not trying to hear that shit, right? Then you got Trump. That dude ain't been conservative since I've known him. Man, sleeping around, doing all crazy shit. Right? This shit is all an act. It's all it's an act. So if you got a shirt on or a sign and your whole shtick is endorsing some politician that's here today, gone tomorrow, I can't take you seriously on any level. So I don't really fuck with them. I don't fuck with none of these four groups. But the Bryson Gray, I see him. He got in on the Trump train. He's steady trying to slip his way over into the DeSantis lane, tweet by tweet, inch by inch. But I don't understand where everybody's head is on this one. Like, why is everybody caping so hard for these dudes? Like, come on, man. Like, we got fools all. It's the grift. I get that, but I'm not talking about the the grifters. I'm talking about the people who listen to these grifters. Why are we letting these fools filter into society with this madness? Like, why are you letting these fools drive you crazy as an individual?
Yeah. NPCs, sheep follow, sheep gonna follow the pastor.
That's pretty much
sheep
it.
gonna follow the shepherd.
Got to. Like, I mean, listen, this shit should have never been a thing. Twitter, social media, should have never been a goddamn thing, because not everybody deserves a fucking voice. And I know that sounds pretty goddamn authoritarian, but it's worked for thousands of goddamn years. I don't see why that shit should switch up now. Not everybody deserves a voice, because not everybody is going to say the responsible thing. It doesn't have to be the right thing. It just has to be the responsible thing for whatever times or whatever the situation may need. And not everybody's thinking on that level.
Well, let me ask you this. A little change of pace here. What do you think about my theory on sex workers that are based sex workers?
I feel that to some degree, because in the realm of morality, right? Legislation, politicians and shit, they shouldn't be trying to legislate morality in the first goddamn place. So
correct.
If you are leading with your morality as a way that people should live, and you expect your politicians and your elected officials to lead with that same morality, that's where you're fucking up. There ain't nowhere in the Bible that says, vote for the right party. Ain't nowhere in that motherfucker that says that.
Yeah.
Quran, none of it. As a matter of fact, it says render unto Caesar what was his. Like, basically stay up out of that shit.
Okay.
Right? So sex workers as a way to funnel a political message is just as good as any other worker who funnel a political message. It's a political message. And I feel like, look, again, with Bryson Gray, back on him, he would have the exact opposite view of this. He would be like, nope, we don't want them a part of the party. We don't want them a part of the culture. We don't want them a part of any of that, right? So no on sex workers, no on X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Because it's all about traditional conservatism with him, right?
Right.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, 50 years ago, your black ass wasn't traditional conservatism. Shit, just 30 years ago, rap music wasn't traditional conservatism. I'm old enough to remember when they was locking the 2 Live Crew ass up for singing "Pop That Pussy."
Yeah.
So your whole shtick wasn't traditional conservatism, but there was a lane for you to make your way in, because the people who came before you allowed that to happen. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it should be viewed through the same lens. Like, it's a political statement, cool. Now, I wouldn't expect no hookers to be up there telling me about what I should do morally. You don't have a lane there. You don't have no place in that field for me.
Right.
Unless what you're saying is correct.
Right.
But I wouldn't put you as the face of the operation. That's for damn sure.
No, I
But as
definitely
far
would
as
not have him be the face of the operation.
No.
No.
As far as politics, that's an amoral thing.
Right.
You're supposed to be protecting borders. You're supposed to be doing the most practical shit for that purpose. But you're not supposed to be trying to preach to me or preserve my morality in any way, shape, or form. That's where a lot of these politicians get it fucked up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt Earth Theory says, I do manage a bunch of OnlyFans account and we are based as hell. I'm telling you, sex workers are mad based, bro.
Yeah,
Mad
a lot
based.
of them are. They've been down through there, bro. They know the smell of it all. They know the earth. They know what it's like down in there. And a lot of these high-minded liberal point of views and perspectives, they don't have no real place in reality. And if anybody gonna know what's real, it's gonna be a broad who's been out there in them streets.
Bingo. They know how to sniff out a scam. They know what's real and what's fake because it's part of their lifestyle. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
As a street nigga formerly, I was put up on 90% of my game from hookers and shit. Because they know what's up.
Yeah.
And while they may be on one as far as what they do for a living, they still women, so there's still that nurturing aspect to them. You know, they ain't lost that. It
Right.
may just look a little different than what's normal, quote unquote, but
Yeah.
they ain't lost that. You tap into that, you tapping into something great. And then maybe through the process, you can bring her ass back over to the good side of fucking. But until then, I mean, leave the broads alone, man. If they want to preach politics, let them preach politics. And if you want to utilize that, then you're a smart motherfucker for doing it.
Yeah. I totally agree. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. And anything else on your mind today?
Just take care of your animals, y'all. I just took some intakes in to my rescue today, and they left them out there like just abandoned in the street. I'm going to be posting pictures of them on my Twitter, but this dog was sucked the fuck up, man. This is horrible. And people need to take care of your animals, please.
Take care of the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the calling, bro. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill, man.
Hotep Goldstein on the check-in. Hotep Goldstein, always super bass. 202-596-5631. Uh-oh, I know who this is.
Call from
Rudy the Vet Russo on the line. What's up, bro?
What up, H? What up, HJ? How you living today, brother?
Life is good, man. Maintaining, trying to stay cool.
Hey, Goldstein dropping that science, dude. He drops that science, man. I love that dude, man. Man.
Every time.
Disagree with you on something, man.
Okay.
Them bass strippers, they definitely been tapped before. They've been tapped, especially them based OnlyFans girls.
What do you mean tapped?
They've been tapped. They've been tapped from the back, tapped from the front. They've been done both. They've been tapped. And, I ain't even gonna get in. I hit you on Twitter. I told you see them Daily Wire boys. You see them jumping to his defense right off the gate, right?
Really?
Oh, dude, man.
Did you tag me?
Yeah, I thought I did. No, I tagged you on the one where I was talking about yesterday with the wrong people with the microphone. Because
tag me in the Daily Wire stuff. You got to tag me when you see it on the timeline. Tag me.
I got you because you know that Shapiro. What he said. People complaining about the failure of the launch and all that aren't seeing the substance of the conversation. And I'm just like, man, come on, dude. You had everybody they let talk was already had their head so far Ron DeSantis' ass, it was ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
So it's like it was pure. Man, you got Trump. I mean, love him or hate him, man. Trump goes into the lion's den and squabbles with them people, man. Until you see Ron DeSantis go into the lion's den, man. You can have Dana Lausch and Thomas Massey and Elon Musk and all the people who are already in his corner and the Rhino establishment. Wait till he goes into the lion's den, man. Wait till he lets an average Joe. Wait till he lets a Hotep get a hold of his ass. Let Sonny Johnson get a hold of his ass. Let Sonny get a hold of him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I ain't even like here or there. But like I was saying, the wrong people with the megaphone. That's what I was saying yesterday to you.
Yep.
And with that interview with Pearlythings,
mm-hmm.
I watched that whole interview. I was over the road, man. I was heading to Kansas when you were doing that.
Mm.
And I'm laughing. I'm laughing because she's a culture vulture, right? But she ain't, when you were hitting her on the reparation, I just don't have any. I mean, if you don't agree with it, just say it. I mean, she was so scared to say it, man.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, man. How did this plain Jane, flat ass, no curves, no breast, funny looking ass broad, how does she get the microphone, man? How does she get the microphone? Once again, another one of the bad whites with the microphone, man. I can't stand the bad whites with the microphone, man. You know, it's the bad ones, dude. The bad ones got the mic. I don't know what we're gonna do. Funny story though. The Krasenstein brothers had a live feed today, right?
Uh-huh.
Talking about the head of the Oath Keepers getting 18 years for seditious conspiracy.
Yeah.
So I just clicked on. I'm on the way home, man. I got a ride, about an hour ride home. I click on. It's a fucking echo chamber from hell, dude. Right? They're all stroking each other's egos, and you're right. So I pop in a request to talk, man, and I keep tweeting, hey, come on, cowards, let someone in that disagrees.
Yeah.
They let me in, dude. Boy, they shut me down so fast it was ridiculous, man.
Of course.
They shut me down so fast it was ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's just
They're not gonna let you speak.
Nah, man. And when I did, I'm trying to lay out point that like they were up there really trying to say that people in D.C. had guns and that the Secret Service was turning them away. I was like, you guys know nothing about gun laws, period. And especially gun laws in D.C. because you couldn't walk up to a secret. You can't have concealed weapons in D.C. on January 6th, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't have it until the Supreme Court knocked down the New York thing. All them things you couldn't. We're talking about people showing up to the Secret Service checkpoint with firearms, and they were turning around when the Secret Service says you can't come in here with guns. And I'm like, dude, that is just a lie, man. Man, I'm telling you, man. I don't know. This country.
I tend not to go into the Twitter Spaces.
I mean, I went into the DeSantis one just to listen, man. But the funny thing was, man, it was just scripted, brother. It was scripted. Yeah. Like, they had Dana Lausch and Thomas Massey and Elon and the Schwartz guy that ended up hosting it, and Jay Bhattacharya. Which Bhattacharya's his comments and questions were pretty deep. But I mean, it was scripted, man. It's not like he was getting any, and no one asked him about the foreign policy, man.
Oh, nobody asked him about. They ain't asked him about the crane.
Of course not, dude.
Oh,
they know that's why you hear these pundits, right? And after that, I went into Benny Johnson's space, and they're all like, "Oh man, I wish they could have worked together. I wish they could have worked together." Well, he's a rhino, man. He's not working with Trump, man.
Yeah.
Trump got him over the finish line, loyalty ain't shit in politics. Let's be honest, but loyalty in the world, man, on some gangster shit should mean something. And that was some gangster shit. Trump could have thrown his weight behind the other guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you could have if he was really about it. He's really about the great American comeback, because that's his slogan, the great American comeback.
Which
really
Kim Klacik accused him of stealing that, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's sexy, but she's crazy too, man. She did look good in that red dress walking through Baltimore, man. But yeah, it was just so scripted. But there's a good about it, man. The good about it is that, at least it went through Twitter, man, and not through them fake mainstream media, man. At least it was covered by alternative platform, man.
Yeah.
Because like today, there's no way an MSNBC panel would have ever let me slide in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course not.
And I can't stand them Krassenstein brothers, but they were gangster when I started hitting them with the "come on, you cowards, let somebody in with an opposing view."
Right.
But well, they shut me down instantly once I got on them, dude. Once I got on them, so. It's just I'm just trying to I'm about to get my grip down like you, brother. I learned from the best, man. I learned from the Hoteps, man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
But, Goldstein, keep dropping the science every day. HJ, man, just keep it down the middle, man. And fuck Pearlythings, man. Old dumbass, rich-ass white bitch, man. We ain't got time for you, man. That's the thing is, man, motherfuckers that come from poverty, poor folk, right? White, black, don't matter. When you're poor and you have to struggle for everything you got in this goddamn world, you got more in common than you fucking know, man. And they seem to get along better with one another.
Yeah.
It's the rich whites and the bourgeoisie blacks, man, that they just, god damn, they're ruining this fucking country, man. It's the Joanne Reed sitting up there at Harvard, getting a job at MSNBC, bitching about white people every day while cashing that white check, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
divide and conquer strong, bro. But you know, we can come here every day at 2:00 and get a little knowledge and a little unity. So
Absolutely.
one love, my brother. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill, Rudy. Rudy the Vet Russo on the check-in. Phone lines are open 202-596-5631. Let me get back to the super chats. Uno said Ron makes it easy to be viewed racist. Poor messaging on CRT and dog whistles. Monkey on Gillum during campaign. He needs to control the narrative. Okay. Jamerson Hayes just became a Hotep initiate. I got some new BTS for my members coming soon. My initiates and up.
Call from
Jonah.
Jonah, you on the line, man? Give me your 60-second take, bro.
Yo, I just woke up, but how you tell me there's no sex workers in the conservative when you got fucking Romney up there, you got Mitch or Lindsey Graham, you got how you tell me there's no sex workers up there? Anyways, I slept through the whole show, so I'll let everyone else call in. But when I heard there's no sex workers, and then you tell me there's Romney up there, there's Lindsey Graham, there's Mitch McConnell, there's whoever else, right? They're all up there.
Oh, man, I love that take, yo. I'll see you soon, man. Oh, man. Jonah Ryan on the check-in. Oh, Lord. Savage. Hold on. I know we had another caller coming in. Call back in. The lines are open now. 202-596-5631. The lines are back open. Jonah just absolutely savage take. I love my callers. I love my callers.
Call from.
Hey.
Kay, what up, girl?
What's up?
What's up? Talk to me.
Finally, I got through. Okay, so I have to say something about Master Focus. I want to tell everybody, get ready, because Master Focus is going to be like that movie They Live, where you put on the sunglasses. So once you take your Master Focus, you'll be seeing things that you haven't seen before. So make sure to click that link so that you can get a huge discount on Master Focus, and you could be like Rowdy Piper and They Live.
I love that. I'm going to have to get that meme going. Link in the description box below. Get that big discount.
So I have to talk about these conservative hookers, or, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They're just attractive politicians. So what's the difference?
Wow. But they're not running, though.
Doesn't matter. They could be lobbyists. Lobbyists aren't running.
Yes,
They're
this is
still
true.
They're still influencing a certain situation. And I know somebody in the chat was talking about, I guess, one of the girls that you pulled up, and they had an interview with them, and they were, kind of this individual that they interviewed that you pulled up was against human trafficking. I'm sorry, but for somebody who has survived that mess in Hollywood, basically, if you're an OnlyFans and you're talking against human trafficking and not doing anything to kind of change the situation because young girls are so influential, you're basically a wolf in sheep's clothing. You cannot be in an OnlyFans or a worker or sex industry and be against human trafficking. That is so contradictory, and it makes you a hypocrite too. So just wanted to clear that up.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, sex trafficking falls under the category of human trafficking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. And with everything that's going on with, Ron versus Trump and all this stuff, I'm sorry, but some of these people look like paid actors. Like I was joking in the chat, the dude is probably got his degree from Juilliard, has a UK accent, and they're just on TV doing this thing or on the internet or whatever. But it's like...
Activists.
You have to watch out for the actors. You have to watch out for the actors. And it's like they're trying to start things to be crazy this summer. You always see a seed planted in the spring or right before summer, and then you start to see stuff pop off. This right here, this is the seed right now that they're planting to pop off for the summer. And it's just like, you have to be careful. You know, it's like they're going to push more racial divide and all that stuff. And more divide and conquer. And like I was telling you too, it's like different situation, but I'm just going to bring the topic up. Why do we see no white conservatives debating black conservatives?
Well, you know, I spoke about it a little bit earlier, and I said it's because the mirror will be put up, right? And people will be able to see. All right, so for example, right, it's like the vampire. It's like the opposite of the vampire effect. When you put up a mirror in front of a vampire, nothing shows up. But when you put up a mirror in front of these demons, you start to see the real them. You start to see the real person. And, you know, Vivek is dodging Sunny. There's another young lady that was supposed to be the intermediary conversation before she got to Vivek. That conversation still has not happened yet. There are many people that avoid me. And I think the best example to understand that is my conversation with Pearlythings. If you watch my conversation with Pearlythings, you understand why it's dangerous to debate with somebody who's a critical thinker. Because frankly, your lies will be exposed. You can't hide. You know, for example, the Twitter spaces yesterday with Ron DeSantis, they didn't ask him about the Ukraine question. And that's by design. When you have one of these rhinos or, you know, fake conservatives, and you put them up against somebody like Sonny Johnson, they're going to ask those tough questions. And when those tough questions are asked, you're either going to alienate your base, the people that make you popular, you're going to piss them off, or you're going to show your true colors. So, you know, it's best to just avoid that completely.
Right, and it's like nobody wants to break free of that. And speaking of Pearlythings, it's like she is too afraid, like you said, to break her base up and actually speak her mind. She's just saying the things that she thinks people want her to say so that she can continue to get that money and continue to get popular. But when is it going to be the less popular thing spoken is going to be the more popular thing? Not until we wake up, not until we get that self-confidence, and not until we gain our self-esteem back.
Well, here's my thing with Pearlythings is I don't think she has her own thoughts. I think her only thought is the grift. Like, she wakes up in the morning, she doesn't I don't think she really cares about any of these issues. I think it's just content. And that's what I asked her in an interview. I'm like, yo, you know, it just seems like, you know, you jump from one thing to another, and that's fine if it's just a content thing. If there's nothing wrong with being a content creator, but just say, like, I'm just here to make content and get my coins. But I don't think she's ever done any deep dive thought on any of these topics. It's just the same old talking points.
Well, that's what's popular. That's what's going on. See, there's kind of two sides of the grifting. There is big brain grifting and there is little brain grifting. And I think because more people, when it comes to Western society, very short mind span, and not everybody, but the majority are very short mind span. So if she follows the majority, that's where her base is going to be coming from. But it's like 15 minutes of fame. So she's going to get what she wants for a while, but then people are going to be tired of her and turn it off. And she doesn't know how to still hold on to those people because she's not doing big brain grifting. She's doing small brain grifting.
Yeah, I guess
so it's like you're back at square one again.
Yeah, I guess it's a very short-term way to operate. But, you know, I hope that one day, you know, she learns and, you know, she comes around. I have hope for humanity. And I think one day, you know, when the short-term grifting fades and she can't get that money anymore like that, you know, maybe she'll move into something, you know, like you said, more big brain. more critical, more honest, you know, more real thought. And that was my thing with the reparations conversation was, you know, people were saying, you know, I kept harping on the reparations conversation with her, et cetera, but it wasn't that I wanted to get her to accept reparations. I just wanted something other than the typical talking points, you know, like I wanted to hear a really good take. And I've heard really good takes from people like Mo Fax, and he's for reparations, but I also heard him say Africa owes reparations, right? But when he says it from an educated point of view. And, you know, when I look at other people, it just seems like they're just saying, you know, what everybody else says about reparations. And like I said, I'm in the middle. Like, I don't really care. Like, you know, reparations, yeah, reparations, no, like whatever is your cup of tea. But I want you to stand on it and back it with intellectual evidence. And I wasn't getting that from her. And when I presented the Dems must pay, she thought about what I said and was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And I'm like, the only reason why people haven't come to that, because they never really thought about the subject deeply. They just said, I'm against it. Here are the talking points. Let's stick to that. It reminds me of people who scream Orwell 1984, but never read George Orwell's 1984 work. You're just repeating what you see other people say.
And not only that, but sometimes you give people too much credit because you're on a different level than some of these people. And then when the words start to fumble out of their mouth when they're talking to you, you see where they're at. And it's just like, it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You pull back the curtain when you have these interviews with these people, and you see the little guy behind the curtain pulling all the strings.
Exactly.
And that's what happens.
Exactly. That's exactly a great analogy. I'm using that from now on.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Love you. Love everybody. I will be there in the chat for today. Happy Hotep Thursday. And like I say before, since I'm with Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, we will be ready to represent Onk when he needs us.
No doubt. No doubt. Love you, Kay.
Hotep and build.
Hotep and build. Kay on the check-in. That was a good call. I enjoyed that. Good big brain talk right there. Troublemaker Jonah says, speaking of actors, Ken and Hotep last night and I were discussing some possibilities of some actors in the near future. Rumble only, though. Okay. Let's figure it out, man. Let's figure it out. When people call Pearl racist, though, it completely throws off real valid arguments folks have against her. Got to stop throwing out the race card. I agree with that. When I spoke to Pearlythings, I didn't see a racist. I really didn't see a girl that was racist. And you know me, I'm a type of person who sometimes I kind of like racists. I kind of like white nationalists, you know, people who just, you know, stand in what they believe in and got a little bit of...
Call from...
AK, what up, bro? Talk to me, man.
Hey, what up, Hotep?
What's good? What's good?
I got three things that I want to chat with you about. So, first is about the CitiBike Karen, right?
Yeah.
So I made a video on TikTok, got a little bit of traction, and I wanted to just kind of like separate two things. So number one, what the lady did, I actually don't feel bad for her because I did some like deep diving. This woman is like a white liberal or progressive. Like she's all about all the liberalism. So like I think it's kind of weird that conservatives are jumping to defend her as though like she was just, you know, minding her own business or whatever. So I think that's important to set
Let's
to the
stop
side
right
that
there. Let's stop right there, because Sonny Johnson said the same thing about the term Karen. You know, she said, you guys are so offended by the term Karen, but the Karen is describing the white female liberal, which is your enemy. And here again, you say CitiBike Karen is one of these progressives, but they've chosen that person over black men. And this is why I'm saying conservatives be missing, bro. They be missing. They be shooting and missing. And I'm like, and this is why they get labeled racist, because it's like, you know, this is a Karen, you know, this is a progressive. She's fighting for everything that you're against, But as soon as she's put next to a black guy, you go, man, fuck the black guys. I'm choosing a white progressive female over the black guy, so we got no choice but to say you're racist.
So that's part one.
Okay.
The second part is that for me, okay, I'm old school. Okay, I'm 38. But here's the problem I had with the way that these young men acted. The woman's pregnant, right? And based off of what the sister said when she made her video showing the receipts, like, she told them, like, I'm pregnant. I think personally, like, if that was my son and I found out the story, I'd be like, listen, bro, I know this is your bike, but this pregnant woman, give her the damn bike, man. Get another bike. And I don't hear anyone really talking about that. So I'm curious what you think about, like, do you think that men should strive that if you see a pregnant, especially a pregnant woman, that you maybe give her a little bit more grace, or are you like, don't care, whatever? I'm curious what your position is, because my position is, hey, man, take the L, give the damn pregnant lady the bike, and call it a day.
I want to remove her being pregnant from the situation completely.
Okay.
And say, I'm not fighting with no woman over a bike, period. You know, you would never see me in a situation like that. I'm going to say, hey, this is my bike. I'm going to be using this. And once it turns into a physical altercation where she's like pushing me, all right, you got it. You won. I'm not a man. A man too. Like, even if it's a man, like, I'm not about to be sitting up here squabbling with you over, you know, a CitiBike. It's just, I'm just too mature for that. So if you want to be an ass and you want to be rude, you know what? It's not worth it. Take the damn bike, lady. Take the damn bike, dude. You know, but I would definitely advise my children, pregnancy aside, you're in a situation with a woman like that, walk away. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And then here's the third thing is that the reason I even made a TikTok video on this is because for me, like, I know that the grifters are going to grift, right? So moments that they see is black and white, you got all the black racial grifters, and then you got the other side that's like, look at these thugs, look at these animals. And I'm like, nothing in that video shows them being thugs or animals. It shows young men that clearly, like, ain't trying to give up the bike.
Yeah.
And so I think the thing that's most interesting is that the receipts do show something interesting, that, like you said earlier, if you take a scooter or a bike or whatever, even though your time is expired, your rental time is done, it's technically open. So on both sides of it, this woman for sure could have grabbed a different bike. These dudes for sure were trying to bogart. Maybe they thought it looked cool or like it had a nice light, like the dude that actually took it. I just think they would be better if people would just, I don't know, put on their thinking cap and be like, this was all around not a great situation, but I don't know how much race necessarily had to do with it. So, like, let's just break it down and be like, either you're, you know, pro, be gentle or nice to a woman if you're a male, or you're like, this is your piece and it doesn't really matter because, you know, you had your hand on the bike or whatever. And I just think that kind of all gets lost in that conversation. But that's what grifts do, right? It's all about hyping up your side.
Well, I think the issue is when she, according to the testimony, she pushes her way onto the bike. And I think that's where they get defensive. Like, yo, lady, like, why are you pushing? Like, I'm not letting go of this bike. Now, if she came and she pushed it, like I said, I would have been like, all right, if you're going to be pushing and shoving, you could just have a bike. It's not that serious. But the thing that makes me say I believe the guy's testimony, although I don't agree with their actions, is her fake tears. We all know she put on the Karen act. She started screaming for help, like they were doing something wrong to her. And I've seen that act before. And that to me said, yeah, nah, I can't fuck with CitiBike Karen.
Now, there's a pushback that I have. Now, because, again, this woman's a liberal, I can see that the reason that she reacted like that is because she's a liberal, right? Like,
yes,
she figures she can get some sympathy. There's only a little bit of a caveat. I mean, you know pregnant women because you got kids. Yeah. Pregnant women are fucking crazy. They're hormones, I'm saying, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like, and I think that the moment that these dudes weren't going to, like, let her take the bike, like, she's just, like, raging in a certain sense. So that's the only thing, man. I just think that the overall breakdown of it is that it's not a racial component only because people want to make it racial. But then you got the conservatives like capping for it, and it's just like, I mean, caping for it, and it's like, this is a liberal, man. Why are you protecting the liberal woman? And the reason I can confirm that is because look at the GoFundMe. It says like she believes in racial justice, equity, not equality. She says equity.
Yeah. Well, again, there's another underlying message here that we just uncovered is the white liberal woman will use black people as a pawn, but as soon as she's got the opportunity to have the upper hand, she's going to scream, you know, I'm a victim, and all of a sudden her whiteness is weaponized against black men, which just again goes to show you that white liberals are not allies to black people.
Yeah, no, they'll weaponize it. One of my favorite, or I guess you could say my most toxic trait is if I'm arguing with the white liberal and they start getting nasty with me, I'll drop the race card and they lose their mind, man.
Do
and
they?
I do it only like if you talk to like someone that's over the age of 50 and you start saying like, why are you coming at me? It's because I'm black. Like, I get what you're at. Like, you're just a racist person.
Yeah.
Like, they lose their mind. Because, like, that's the greatest sin to them because they think they're above it. Because they view, in my opinion, most white liberals view black people as less than and they have pity for them.
Yeah.
And that's one of my big problems with white liberals is, like, don't pity me, man. I don't care that I came from the mud. I can achieve anything you can achieve. And if you think I can't, how dare you? Now, if you want to give me resources or whatever, that's a different conversation. But if you're claiming that even if you gave me resources, I would never be able to achieve your status or higher, that to me is how a lot of liberals look at black people.
Yeah. Pamela D said, again, I am late here, but how do we know she's a liberal? I want you to answer that question, but first I'm gonna answer the question.
Yeah.
A conservative woman would have never acted like that. A conservative woman
100%.
A conservative woman would have minded her business, would have grabbed a different bike, and there would have... You never see these problems with conservative women because they know how to act. The actions of her having this... Even a conservative woman would have been mature enough to say, oh, we're about to fight over this bike, I'm walking away. You won't find this with conservative women. They have a certain decorum about her. But this is definitely something a white liberal woman would do. But how do you know she was a liberal?
Yeah, so I found out who her husband was because they both took down all their socials. And someone that's supposed to, like, they have the exact same last name. They live in the same area. I did like a home search, and I saw that they stay in the same place. So he writes all of, like, he's a digital, what's the word I'm thinking of? He creates visual images, right? Mm-hmm. Like a digital designer. And so, like, he designs for The Atlantic all the time, right? And when you look at all the pieces that he makes, they're all overtly political for the left, right? So there's that. Then the second thing is that, again, the GoFundMe specifically mentions that she has been a champion for racial justice equity, right? So, like, you combine this together, man, and it's like, of course this lady is a liberal. She ain't a conservative. It's just not a thing. And I think that here's the last little piece, the hint. She's not really going after the dudes, right? She just wants to get her job back. And I think that, you know, that's an aspect that she doesn't want to be blamed as a racist. That's what her biggest issue is. She doesn't care about whether or not she's right or wrong.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to be labeled as a racist, bro.
Now, well,
and that's the last thing. If you're a conservative, you're like, whatever, label me as a racist, you know?
Yeah. Now, as much as I dislike, you know, leftists, I don't think she should be fired. I don't like her actions. I think they were absolutely disgusting. But, you know, when you start dealing with people's jobs, I've never really been I've never been like a fan of. The only person I think needs to lose their job is Hillary Clinton. Whatever that job happens to be. Well, did you have another third point? You said you had 3 points. Did you ever get to the third one?
Yeah, third point is about Pearlythings. Bro, that woman is so ugly. I like the first time I ever heard about her, I'm like, okay, is she stacked? Because, you know, like, if she's stacked back in the back, I can understand why, like, young brothers would be like, okay, you know.
Yeah,
But
she
no,
got a
she's
little
not.
booty. Yeah, if she had a little booty, yeah.
Yeah, but she don't have. I don't get the appeal. Like, I legitimately don't understand it. Her cadence of her voice, it doesn't make sense. It feels like this is like a CIA created op or something, dog. Because it just aesthetically, she's not pretty. Even her takes aren't that intellectual, like you said. Like, I can't. Like, I go on Twitter Spaces with like Nuance Bro, Actual Justice Warrior, and some of these other cats because it's entertaining and mostly it's a bunch of clowning. And they were talking about her, and I'm like, they were like kind of defending her. I'm like, what is special about this chick, man? I don't get it. I don't see any appeal at all. Makes zero sense to me. So I just wanted to bring that up, man. Like, she's stale. I don't get the appeal and the whole. Oh, actually, I did have a 3.5. The conservative thought thing. So, again, yeah, I got like 100,000 followers on TikTok. I kind of just am new to the creating content game in the last year, and so I became friends with Leanne Starr, and then there's this other chick that's called like Unpopular Opinion Queen, and their whole thing is like, we're conservatives, but we want to be in the thought space, and the thing that I think is important, right? Like, OnlyFans is a thing. We agree on that. It's not going away anytime soon. So if we're going to be trying to influence incels, we'll call it that term, or get simps, we might as well have people ideologically that are different than the progressive leftists.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it, is like, we have to fight that space, because if there are no conservatives, quote unquote, in that space, then it's only going to be progressive leftists.
Yeah.
So we have to fight in that space. But I agree with you. Like, I've been friends with strippers. I'm friends with escorts. A lot of these people are capitalists, right? They're just trying to get their bread.
Yeah.
And so, like, when it comes to a lot of the political issues, don't mess with my money, and we're cool. Mess with my money, now we got problems. And I think that that's kind of what the space is that these people are capitalists, and when they really start to find out how politics works about losing individuality and control, that's when they're like, yo, no, like, I'm conservative.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's fine to have, we're Big Tent, man. You know,
Yeah. You know, it's like when the right pulls out black conservatives to neutralize the left's black liberals. I see it as the same thing. Like, you know, they're talking about hoe culture. Well, we got hoes too, so it's our hoes versus your hoes, and it's just pretty much how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, everyone's got hoes. I get that if you are a religious conservative, these things are appalling to you, but you don't have to accept them.
Right.
But you have to coexist with people that have that belief, because there are more issues than that one issue. Now, if all you care about is morality and like your specific religious viewpoint, and that's the only thing that matters, you're never going to be down.
Yeah.
But if you do care about like actually being a movement that has other parts to it in order to push back against what the progressive left and what the Marxists are pushing, we need all hands on deck, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone that can be on board, even if we have, 15 or 20% that we vehemently disagree on, let's get down with the other 80, 85, man, and make some differences.
All hands on deck. Yo, I appreciate the call, bro.
Hotep and Bill, man. Later.
Hotep and Bill. Yeah, that's my thing. You know, it's all hands on deck, man. We need everybody in this fight, because we getting our ass whooped right now. And, you know, I'm not about to tell the sex workers, you know, because the sex workers follow me. You know what I mean? I had this one girl. She was like, can I be a hoe and a hotep? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I never thought about that. I'm like, it's just hotep. Like, I don't really care, like, about that life. It's just.
Call from
Chaz, what up, bro? Talk to me, man.
Not much. Just had to call in. Pearlythings. I find it funny that she's blocking you, because isn't that pretty much what she was on your show talking about people reading what she's doing as wrong, and then now she's blocked. Like, she kind of served her purpose on your show, and now she doesn't really need you or your show or your commentary. So I just kind of find that weird.
Yeah, it could be it. I wouldn't argue that.
And as far as the conservative hoes, I think it's important to have, just because of you said it yesterday about having, like, the women should stand up about the transgenders and feeling away. And I think that, like, the liberal hoes can kind of speak to the conservative hoes, right? And then also, to fix an issue, you kind of need to have that representation, right? Because the conservatives are going to think in a certain way. So if it's in that space, or what you should be teaching your kids to not end up like that, so on and so forth, like, they have something to contribute. So by sort of casting them aside and saying, hey, okay, conservatives as a whole, we don't accept that, it doesn't necessarily fix the issue, right? They have a nuanced view into what the actual issue is rather than what hasn't been working.
Yeah. That's exactly how I see it, man. Hoes got to neutralize the hoes.
Yeah. But that's all I called to say. Great show, and you've been on fire this week, so.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Hotep and Bill, bro.
All right, you too. Hotep and Bill.
Appreciate the compliment, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We work hard over here, man. We work hard.
Call from
Tari, what up, man? You on the line with Hotep?
Hey, what's up? So I was wondering, I missed a little bit of the show. Was there some topic about Pearly, or was that just
She blocked me on Twitter.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not really surprised about that. She kind of embarrassed herself in that interview y'all had.
Yeah.
I kind of popped in the middle of that conversation. I was like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
But other than that, so this DeSantis stuff, I feel vindicated.
What do you mean?
I think I feel vindicated.
Why?
I think I mentioned it to you before. They're talking about him going against, taking a swing at the king, if you will. And a lot of people really thinking that this is some kind of matchup that actually that DeSantis could actually win.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just don't. Like, maybe if the establishment, put all their weight behind them, but I mean, even the stuff you were showing, they doing exactly what I thought they would do. The liberals, they in the streets already. He just announced, and they already in the streets.
Who? The grifties?
Yeah. The liberals, they were sitting there doing their little, what was that chant they had? Playing the video there.
Yeah.
What was that chant they had? Yeah. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as he ran, I was like, because they see him as more of a threat, because if the Republicans think he can help them actually get stuff done, well, then he's more dangerous to the Democrats as far as they see.
Yeah, and especially his take on critical race theory and the Bud Lights. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he ain't really got no charisma either.
Right.
So I don't.
Yeah, he's got no charisma.
I feel vindicated with this little launch, because I mean, unless he step his game up, or they shut Trump down early.
Well, what was your take? You say you feel vindicated. What were you trying to say?
I feel vindicated. I was saying he ain't got what it takes.
Oh, okay.
He waited too long to even launch, and then you see his launch. I mean, it was unique, right? Yeah. Doing it on Twitter and everything. But I don't know, like, it wasn't spectacular, Didn't really move nobody.
Yeah,
like you were saying, I wasn't even really bothering to watch. I saw somebody else covering it. They wanted to get their grift on. People was in there recording it, so I caught somebody streaming, recording it, and that's the most you really got. You really got out of it. They talked about how many people was in there. I'm like, Twitter is available to the whole world.
Right.
That's like Trump, bragging about his crowd numbers. But you bragging about people on the internet just popping into a Twitter space.
Yeah,
like, that's not. Y'all need to chill. Like, calm down. No, y'all gonna look real foolish if y'all start trying to brag about stuff like that.
And much of the draw is Elon himself.
Exactly, right? Because they did that on his account. If DeSantis had done that on his account, right, would they have even had that pool?
Exactly. Imagine
really
if DeSantis does that by himself without Elon. Does he have that pull? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just don't see nothing else happening. I don't see nobody else really being a better candidate than Trump at this point.
No.
But they definitely they want DeSantis. They want DeSantis to do good. I think he should have stayed out of this, to be honest. I think he should have just waited his turn.
Well, I think this is smart for him. I like that he ran this year because, although he is a neocon, he's got to get his chops in. He's got to get his experience in with this election if he's going to have a chance in 2028. Because, who else is the right going to pull out in 2028? They've got to develop somebody now to prepare for 2028.
You think he's gonna play softball with Trump, or you think there's a lot of people worried about Trump making him unable to run later on?
It's WWE, bro. It's WWE, man. Remember, what did Trump say? He got Ron in office.
Right.
Okay? Now they only become enemies when it's time for the election to roll around. It's a charade. It's a game. Everybody who thinks this is a real battle is being played. They are friends. They are cool behind the scenes. Trump knows he's going to need to beef up DeSantis because DeSantis might play his VP. And then he plays VP, and then 2028, DeSantis has his profile up. Now the Republicans have a strong candidate to go up against whoever the liberals pull out in 2028. This is all 2028 preparation.
You think?
I know, bro. I know.
I don't know how much I think. I kind of believe Trump a little bit, and that's because I think he actually is offended.
No,
I think he actually is bothered. But I don't know. It could just be the grift.
It's a game. It's a grift. I'm gonna show you a great example. Kamala Harris accused Joe Biden of sexual assault. And then as soon as he won the primaries, she flipped and goes, yeah, I can't wait to be his VP.
That's a good point.
Come on, bro.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Come on, man. This shit is a charade. It's a game to get people to the polls and to vote, man.
You're right. I still think it's a chance that it might be a game being played, but it might be something else going on behind the scenes where they're trying to get Trump out of here. That's where I'm leaning towards. I think it's a game going on.
There is an element of that.
On the game together.
There is an element of that. I will not deny that. There is an element of that.
Because I don't know if they in on it together. Like Trump might just think, they're just playing the game or whatever, and then they might try to do him dirty later on. That might be something. They might keep him comfortable and then just kind of try to get him with a, something from out of nowhere from his side.
Yeah.
He'd be expecting it from the other side.
Yeah.
But I feel like they got something in the tuck. So they're a little too confident about pushing this guy out here, especially with this lackluster performance. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the phone lines is hot. Let me get to the next caller, bro.
Yeah, man. Hotep and Bill.
Phone lines are hot. Damn, y'all blowing my line up. What's up? Talk to me. I'm here for it. I'm not complaining. Trust me, I'm not complaining. I love it. Zulu, maybe the kids thought she was just heavy set. Oh, my God. Steph Colonel, boats and hoes. Oh my God, what's going on with y'all? Need that Alex Jones soundbite?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Y'all being played if y'all think this fucking Ron DeSantis and Trump thing is like a real feud. You're just being played. I feel bad for y'all too if y'all really think that.
Call from
Vader.
Vader, what's up, man?
What's up, Hotep Jesus? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Talk to me, bro.
All right, man. So, I want to talk about the relationship topics you brought up, but I wanted the person to engage the intellectual hypothetical about the porn, the P stars, and the OF girls joining the right and all that.
Yeah.
So, I think these OF girls and P stars already kind of have a voice. They get that huge following in a sense, and then they're boosted in the algo, and because of their huge following. They might as well go ahead and guide them with a better message since they're chatting shit 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm also a realist, so I know the right is often filled with tradcons, so they would never utilize these chicks. They'll just continue to pay for them behind their wives' backs, to be honest.
Correct.
So
correct. You are correct.
Yeah. I think that's if they were to utilize sex workers, it would probably be the left. because the P stars.
Look at how the chat responded when I brought that up. They're like, "Oh my God, where is this going?" Jesus, oh my God, and I'm like, I'm thinking like a war general here. I'm not thinking like somebody who's got their emotions into this thing. I'm trying to figure out how you win a political war, and if I got to use some hoes to do it, I'm gonna use some hoes to do it.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You're absolutely right, Alex Jones. Hey, Hotep is a genius. But yeah, man, that's what I would say about that. And yeah, most people they don't have the bandwidth for hypotheticals, man. That's typically a trait of the low IQ, to be honest with you. But,
yeah.
But the main thing I want to talk about was like, so earlier you were talking about like putting aside the racial biases to be able to talk about a concept that with full clarity and nuance. And I feel like sometimes that's what we got to do with these relationship talks, like put aside the gender biases and just kind of say what's real. Because I don't actually think this whole red pill space thing that they're doing, sometimes I think I've listened to them, and most of the time I don't think it's really bashing women. Sometimes it sounds like it's just like facts. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, it's definitely facts. A lot, I would say 90% of it comes off as female bashing. But it's majority facts. Pearlythings doesn't, when she's saying these talking points, she's not wrong. You never heard me say she's wrong.
Yeah.
You've never heard me say that.
All Pearl does is rip off Rolo, to be honest with you. I don't even consider her anything like real. Like, and it's funny because you could tell she's imitating because she tries to say things the way Rolo would say them, but she's not nearly as articulate nor intelligent enough to even remember the full, like, comprehensive idea that he was speaking about. So, like, yeah, I agree with that. But, I mean, are you familiar with this term? And Chad, don't get mad at me. Are you familiar with the term hoflation?
I'm the one that made that term up.
Word? Oh, bro, they be ripping you off, man. They be ripping you off.
Yeah, I'm the one that came up with the term hoflation.
Man, yo, bro, Hotep's been told you, I guess, bro. I'm out here. Look, I'm a new subscriber, so that's why. I never heard this, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm 25, so I see this happen, like, a lot, like how social media is really, like, what porn is to guys. And I think that, like, I saw in real time how, like, on, like, a micro level what was happening on a macro level with, like, chicks that I was friends with since, like, grade school. Like, the moment 2010 rolled around and Instagram came up, it was literally, like, seeing them morph into different people. And I was super confused at the time. And then I wanted to write, like, a paper about it because it's super weird, man. Like, I saw how they would fiend for likes, how, like, the chicks that had the most likes started acting very, like, narcissistic and, like, no one could tell them anything. You couldn't have a normal conversation with them. And then I would see, like, people from other schools getting into relationships with people from our school, and I'm like, wow, this is literally, like, happening on a macro level, like, globalizing the sexual marketplace. So, yeah, man, that's all I want to talk about. But that,
yeah, I mean, what happens is something called a feedback loop. So, once you start getting those likes, you start getting validated by, strangers. It starts to feed the ego, and you start getting those dopamine hits, and you start thinking your shit don't stink. And all content creators are we battle this. We battle this, validation thing. I'm not exempt from this. I think the only thing that makes me different is this is not my first rodeo, and I have events in my life that keep me rooted. Knowing where I came from and how I got here and where I want to go and the people that helped me. I have things that keep me grounded. I have events I can play over because I have these moments where I get big on myself but I've trained myself to reflect on moments of humility. So my ego never gets out of control. And mostly because, like I said, I was a music artist, so I know what it's like to get all the likes, the attention, and VIP and the strip club. And, like when I was an artist, I didn't wait in lines. I was VIP If the dress code was no t-shirts, hats, and boots, I wore t-shirts, hats, and boots and still got in the club. And people like, yo, who is this dude? You know, so
Right.
I know what it's like to have that type of attitude and be toxic and how that hurts you. So because I have experience in that arena, whereas some people, they come into this space and this is their first time being a star, you know, like I said before, this is my second life. So I've lived that life before, and I know how toxic it is to be so egotistic. So I have experience over most of these people.
Yeah, no, that's super, like, that's what you should be doing, honestly. But a lot of people, like, that's good that you had a real life. I think most of the content creators that are kind of have that ego, or they're narcissists, or they're, like, insufferable because they're finally getting this level of star.
Yeah.
They were losers before, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't, like, have a lot of friends in high school. They didn't get girls. Like, that side of the red pill, I could definitely see where people are like, yeah, these people are, you know, they're losers, man. Like, they're like semi-autist and they have no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, 100%, man. I agree with that. And I think people are in danger of becoming a brand when they, you know, are doing this kind of content creation. Like, they stop being people and they start becoming the brand.
They start becoming the brand, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's happened to Pearlythings, man. I think she took it as like a personal attack that you even, or not even you, but people that followed you might have been talking badly about her. It felt like a personal attack when really they were just trying to talk about her ideas. But,
yeah, you know, when Nerd tagged and said, you know, she going for a grifty, we didn't mean that maliciously. You know, we run the grifties, and I don't think she's familiar with our brand. So I think she, you know, thinks that we were talking about her, you know, harshly or, you know, extremely scrutinizing her. But we're just saying, yo, you getting your grift on. Like, you know, props to you for getting your hustle on. But, you know, she took offense to that and blocked me. But, you know, I'm not upset about it.
But I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna let you get to these other callers, bro. But Hotep and Bill, man.
Hotep and Bill. Salute to that caller. That's a good call right there. Shout out to my Rumblers rumbling. Hotep TV. If you're not subscribed on Rumble, subscribe on Rumble. We're Hotep TV on Rumble. We do our shows there. Cannon does his show there. I do my show there. And Uncle Hotep. Eva Lovia. That's the other one I was trying to think of. Eva follows me. You know, I don't have problems with sex workers. I got to be honest with you. I don't agree with the lifestyle, but, you know, you'd have to understand, you know, my ideology to understand why I don't have a problem with sex workers. My ideology is everybody's born with free will, and people are, you know, free to live how they want. I think it's a problem when you try to impose your way of life onto others.
Call from
Intelligence 17.
Yo, what up, bro?
What's going on, Hotep?
What's good? Talk to me, man.
Yo, I got the report, man. We did my voter registration drive yesterday.
And what happened?
So, I'm going to say for digital impressions, I think we passed out maybe like around 500 quarter sheets. We got 30 registrations for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to get into that metadata to see if they, you know, voted America or Marxist after all.
Okay.
But I actually had 5 groups, including our county out there. So I'm pretty sure we got at least.
Are you grifting your hustle on my show?
No, sir. I'm trying to get everybody else inspired so they can do that in their own area, man.
Well, I need you to shout your grift out, sir. I need you to. I respect the grift, and I need you to tell them what your grift is, sir.
All right. Well, look, if you all want to learn how to do this, hit me up on Twitter, BenIntelligent1776. Excuse me. Because you can't do the 1776, none of spaces. So that's BenIntelligent76. That's me on Twitter if y'all want to learn and follow. But
and you're doing political outreach in your community.
Yeah, man, ain't nobody else gonna do it. So it's up to us.
That's what's up.
Man, it was beautiful. We got plenty of pictures. We had this one brother, he brought his professional photography rig out with the umbrella and everything, man.
Nice.
And we were doing free photos for the new citizens, and they were getting it through the email and stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
We connected with so many people. It was really a beautiful day.
That's dope, man. It really
was. A lot of them worked hard, so.
That's dope. That's dope. So you got your sign-ups and all of that?
We got a lot of sign-ups. I think we got, I got to check. I think we maybe got like almost 20 people that wanted to come to a group or a meeting and stuff like that. So yeah, man, we learned a lot. rain kind of killed our morning, but we bounced back hard in the afternoon. So, yeah, man, they actually rained on my parade in the morning.
Well, I'm glad you were able to promote your grift. Did you have any comments on today's topics?
Oh yeah. So I was listening to you talk about pearly things. I was listening to the other callers, and I kind of agree. Like, I think that when people come into like the last caller said, people who are new to social media and like a spotlight on you, they kind of don't know what to do, and so they think things a little too personally. And when it comes to Trump and DeSantis, it's all a show. If you didn't learn anything over the past 3 years, it's all a show, and they herding the sheep. So yeah,
it's part of the show. It's part of the show.
It's part of the show.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get distracted by the show.
Right.
You want to do something, you want to care, go knock on your neighbor's door.
Go door knocking.
That's all you could do. I mean, look, if you want to actually matter and have a say in all this stuff, you got to knock on your neighbor's door.
Yeah.
If everybody did that, you would have a say, a real say, and you could actually measure it. You would know what was going on.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not that hard to get involved. I mean, you could start it easy, and then you'll know exactly what's going on. And then when somebody comes at you and said, hey, you're not a real person, you'll have the receipts if you're doing it properly.
Right.
So, yeah, that I think also does upset me, though. It's like a lot of people who are, major in politics, it's like they don't know how to show receipts, or they're afraid to show receipts. It's like, come on, man, everybody's human. Let's go. Like, nobody's really going to get that mad at you, provided you didn't, literally shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm out here in LA County doing this thing or whatever. So like, if you're in another part of the country, yeah, y'all can do this. If we can do this in commie land, y'all can do this in your neighborhood. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I really want all the hoteps out there to really get inspired to go knock on their neighbor's door. And when they see you do that, you can also talk about the advantages of being Hotep minded. So you can really knock out two birds with one stone. So I mean, you got to do it. If they don't hear you say it, they'll never hear it, more than likely. That's all I got to say. Really.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate the inspiration in the call, bro.
Absolutely.
Hotep and Bill. You hear him out here. You hear him out here putting in that work. Sounding like Scott Pressler. Oh, that's a good run. He was onside, too. That's a good onside run. Wow. And a good setup. Wow. Yeah, I like football, international football. What else is going on the internet? Kanye got on some some shoulder pads. I don't know what the hell that is. He got on shoulder pads out here. He said it's Ye. It's Ye. Don't call me Kanye. It's Ye. You better call that man. Kanye said.
Call from
DB Hotep.
DB, what up, man?
What's up, HJ?
What's good,
hey,
bro?
I was just calling. I know you're kind of holding you late with all the calls, but
You're
it's
good.
been good to hear
I'm here
everybody.
for y'all. I work for y'all, man. I work for y'all.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I wanted to call in. I know you were, for a little while, you were talking about the, conservative, conservative porn star, the conservative sex worker type grift. And earlier on in the show, you had talked about when you were doing your relationship part, you were talking about how there was somebody's tweet that said, I grew up in this church, like, purity culture, like, I wanted to just kind of address that and say, like, hey, that church purity culture is probably the reason that we have so many people that are like, oh, I can just go do OnlyFans. It's like their whole life they've always just been told, oh, you got to be proper. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do that. You can't, oh, you can't show your body. You can't look at sex. You can't do any of this,
Yeah.
Like I said in the past, like I come from a church background and, I've worked in youth ministry and stuff like that. And, you get like some of these guys in high school that are like, hey man, so like, is sex a bad thing? I'm like, no, it's like sex in the right context is a fantastic thing. Like it's one of the greatest things.
Well,
But-
there's an interview I had with a Mr. Lemoyne. It's Chad's brother. Did you ever watch that interview?
Yeah, I did.
That was
I
a
remember
fabulous
seeing that.
interview. Like, so people have never seen it. You should go listen to that. But he's basically talking about how, he helps Christians understand the topic of sex and how it's not a bad thing and how to do it in a very Christian-like way. And many of them are like, oh, sex is bad. Sex is bad. He's like, no, it's not bad. It's just, how you participate in it. So I thought that was a very interesting talk.
Yeah, and I thought the thing is too is you kind of look at it and it's this weird kind of heterodoxy where you don't want to be like, oh yeah, like sex is fantastic, like you should see what it's all about, but you also want to just be like, hey, as long, if you're Christian, it's like, hey, you need to, it's like, hey, wait until it's the right time and it'll be the best thing you've ever experienced. And I think a lot of the times what ends up happening and the reason that you see that kind of fall off or that jump towards, OnlyFans and e-thought culture and stuff like that is because you get all these girls that their whole life have been told like, oh, sex is a bad thing. Like, oh, don't have sex, don't let people look at you like that. Don't present yourself like that. And then it's like, the first time it happens, then maybe you're in high school or college or whatever. And they're just like, hey man, everybody told me this was bad. Like this whole Christian thing must be whack,
Yeah.
And so it's this weird, like, it's a weird kind of double-edged sword where it's like on one side you want to say, hey, you got to wait, and it's like you'll be doing yourself a favor, because there's all kinds of science out there that'll say like the less partners you have, the more sexually satisfied you're going to be in a relationship, in a marriage.
Yeah.
And then there's the science on the other end that says like, hey, if you go out and you go sleep with 100 people, you're not going to be able to experience intimacy like you want to,
Right.
And so it's just, that whole, and this is coming from somebody like I've, in the church doing youth ministry. I, get all kinds of people that are like, hey, so, like sex, like, should we even like talk about it? Like, is it, is that something we should talk about, or is it just kind of something that we should just like avoid? I'm like, no, I'm like, talk about it. Like, there's a whole book in the Bible that's basically, erotic literature,
Yeah.
I'm like, when Christians are going to sit here, and it comes from, the Puritans in like the 1700s and stuff that were like, oh, no dancing, no ankles, no,
Correct.
The ones that kind of took everything and we're like, hey, we got to restore it to the bottom.
Yes.
But, it's like there's a whole book of the Bible right there that is talking about that, like, a lot of people haven't even read. Like in the Jewish culture, you have to be a certain age before they even introduce you to that stuff, because they don't, they're like, hey, before we introduce you to this, you need to be able to like understand and be able to think critically and, have intellectual thoughts, not just be like, oh, sex good or, oh, sex bad. You have to think, but too many people are just caught up in the basics.
Yeah, man. Hey, good stuff, man. Appreciate the call, bro.
Yes, sir. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Some good positive speak right there. I ain't mad at that. Hold on. Candace Owens. I was looking at this Candace Owens tweet. Stop talking to me about DeSantis' qualifications. Based on qualifications, he should have destroyed Andrew Gillum. Instead, he almost lost to an overt socialist. Why? Because Andrew Gillum has charisma. Stop deluding yourselves. The it factor matters. Obama had it. She's right. Yeah. DeSantis doesn't have that charisma. He doesn't have that it factor. She's right. Bill Clinton has it. Obama has it. Trump has it. Hillary didn't have it. DeSantis doesn't have it. It isn't fair, but it wins presidential elections. Candy got a homer right there. Yeah, he said erotic in the Bible. I don't know what eroticism's in the Bible, but I haven't gotten a chance to dive into my Bible studies. I told myself when I pass the age of 50, I'm gonna spend that time period studying the Bible, the Tanakh, the Quran, and the Torah. I'm gonna go through all of it. New Testament, Old Testament, Aramaic, Hebrew, Arabic. I'm gonna do all of that. By the time I become 60, I'll be a goddamn guru. Guru by 60. We got some Biden grifting going on in here. Trump talking about the Russia hoax. A lot of this stuff doesn't interest me. It's just, you know, a rerun. Same stuff over and over again. You got some fools thinking he Naruto. What's Curtis Schoon talking about? Oh, that's Praz working with the CCP. Bitcoin, Ordinal's Wallet, ordinalswallet.com. These guys sponsored, they sponsored Hotep Con. If you didn't get your tickets yet, get your tickets to Hotep Con. Come hang out with us. That's our annual event, Las Vegas. Only a couple of months away. Only a couple months away. Get your tickets. Coupon code Hotep Jesus. 10% off those tickets. If you're a day oneer, reach out so I can give you special pricing. Day oneers only. Or my fave. If you think you're one of my favorites, then I'll hook you up. We'll get you at cost. The tickets are the price they are because, well, frankly, we got to cover food costs, hotel costs, and flying out our guests. Thinking about getting, did I ask Michael Mouse? I want to say I asked Michael Mouse to come out to Hotep Con, and I think he politely declined. But I don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I know I asked Scott Adams. He told me no, but then he said ask him closer to the event. So, yeah, who knows? I love this tweet right here. And this is what I was talking about before. Cassius Cam, creator of the Hotep's Been Told You song, says, while you're on Twitter sissy fighting about who's the gayest GOP candidate, I'm out here getting shit done. And he's out here, you know, doing the firefighter thing. So shout out to him. Let's Go Brandon over on Rumble said, I would vote for Bryson Gray over any politician today or yesterday. Hey, I like Bryson. Bryson's got some good takes. Oh, thank you, baby. Oh, my baby brought me food. Thank you, baby. With that being said, phone lines are closed. I'm Hotep Jesus. Hit the link in the description box below for your huge discount on Master Focus. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, 2 p.m. and tonight, 8 p.m. with Uncle Hotep for Hotep's Been Told You. See you later, folks.
Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant.